They told me, like, you fractured your C6, C7. That's cool. What am I got for a couple weeks? And they're like, that means you broke your neck. I was like, ooh. To be 20, in your early 20s, and to have a lifelong mission and dream, and to have, like, to get it, and then for it to be gone, like, second year
Bengals
playing.
select David Pollack.
Here's a name we heard a lot, Mel.
What an athletic play by David Pollack.
You rewrote those record books, and then you got to the league as a first-round pick.
I didn't feel disappointment. I didn't feel failure. I felt gratitude.
They were another extended family for you.
I will never put a suit on another day in my life. You know, NFL, gone. And then new goal, new dream, gone.
You're gonna make me cry.
I'm gonna cry too, don't worry.
You hear the words brain cancer.
She calls me and she was like, that's cancer. Excuse me? I thought they said we were good. How often do you get to see inside someone's soul with everything stripped down and removed?
I will sing of the goodness of God.
I've never been to Italy.
It was, they had been, Sam and Christian had been there. They'd also been to Florence, but yeah, it was like, it was a religious experience. It was incredible. And then we ended up going to church on Easter Sunday in this the tiniest village you've ever seen. And like the church, I think every person in the village fit in this little church. And you walk in and they're Catholic and they're, you know, the priest was late. And it was like no big deal. He walks in and he's like putting his stuff on and they're still trying to light the candles. And then
people in the town were like setting up the church for him.
lighting the candles. It was beautiful. It was like so simple. And the music, I actually took a video. I was like, I don't care. I need to remember this. And so I was just because the music was spectacular. And you could tell it was like grandmas and aunts.
My favorite part of church is the music.
The music.
Praise and worship makes me cry almost every Sunday. I mean, that's my thing. That's our anthem in our house. Like, and then you have those songs that hit you, that like Lindsay's "Goodness of God" video that I posted, like with her, like that song's our anthem for our house.
With Cece?
I don't care.
Because I feel like she
sang it. Rhett Walker sings that thing too.
Oh, really?
Rhett Walker's really good. But then we have I could name 3 or 4 more of people that we've gone through stuff with that's the anthem of their, but it's just, there's something about praise and worship.
There is. And as Catholics, we didn't really.
Music is typically kind of boring.
Yeah, and I don't like it. And so I feel like there's got to be, for me, I think for us, something in between. By the way, these are so ghetto and I didn't have time to get them off. So just ignore, do not look, do not judge me. Don't say it.
No judgment.
I look down and I'm like, oh, my hands. There's something in between like the boring Catholic music where it looks like they're falling asleep as they sing, and to me, a rock band and smoke going everywhere. That's too much for me.
Well, you can't fall asleep when you get up and down so much.
This is true.
Blood flow.
It is true. No. And in Italian, we had no idea, but you could feel it, and we knew we're getting ready to kneel, and then peace be with you. I'm like, how do you say peace be with you in Italian? And they all shook hands there. After COVID, so many Catholics just go, come on.
And my favorite story, my roommate at Georgia, his dad, so he's from Wrightsville, Georgia. That's where Herschel's from. Wrightsville, Georgia.
Oh, right.
Wrightsville.
Okay.
Wrightsville.
I was like, R-A-T.
Wrightsville. So his dad is Ed Tanner, and they are country bumpkins. I mean, country bumpkins. They go on a trip to Notre Dame. Me and Russ become friends in high school, and we said we're going to go to the same college. But he went to the Catholic church. He visited Notre Dame. And so he's in church, and he said his dad's in church, and his dad's just like, people keep coming up to him. He was like, I keep missing their name. He was like, I keep shaking their hands, and I keep missing their name. And he was like, the next one, he said, the next one by God I come to, he said, I'm going to get him. He said, I walked right up to him. This last one, he's like, and I locked eyes across the room. I came up and he was like this, and he goes like this, and he says, peace be with you. And he said, I'm Ed Tanner. He thought they were introducing themselves. And but it was peace be with you. But he was like, I'm Ed Tanner.
And then they don't say who they are. And he's like,
what? He was like, I ain't going to miss another one. Like,
it's so sweet. And you know what?
Hilarious.
You're Catholic too. Like, I get it. If I were not and then went to Catholic church, I'd be like, can you guys make up your mind? kneel, sit, stand, chanting. I cannot stand complicated skincare routines. I don't have the patience for 5 different products and steps and a shelf full of stuff. But lately, I've been doing something really simple that's actually made a difference. I've been using beef tallow on my skin. And the brand I keep going back to is Amalo. They make a really clean product. It's 100% grass-fed and finished tallow with just a handful of high-quality ingredients. No junk, no fillers, no long list of things that you can't even pronounce. They're also a family-run business. Everything is made in small batches here in the US, which I really respect. You can tell there's intention behind it. And the product, it actually works. I've genuinely noticed a difference. My skin feels more hydrated, it feels smoother, and just overall healthier. I do use it on my face, all over my body, basically anywhere I get dry spots as well. There's a reason over 500,000 people have already tried it. So if you're looking for something simple that actually works, this is absolutely worth trying. Go to amalo.com/sage and use code SAGE for my special discount. That's Amalo, AMALLOW.com/sage. We took our kids on Christmas Eve to a different, it wasn't Baptist, was it? It was First Baptist Church in Fort Lauderdale.
That's the first church I went to was a Baptist church.
It was a lot, but it's so modern. It's almost like, to me, it feels disingenuous, and that's judgmental. Maybe it was just that preacher, and it's Christmas Eve.
But I think anybody you go to that's not what you're used to.
Come here. We don't need fuzzies. Your wife will kill me.
I think anybody you go to, any church you go to that's different than you grew up, it just feels weird. Like it feels different, and you're gonna feel some kind of way because worship can look so different.
It feels so different. That's the thing, there's no right or wrong. It's comfort, but I'm like, it's good to get a little bit uncomfortable to see that it isn't just your way.
Yes, correct.
So many different.
Well, who knows? You might. I tell my wife this all the time. I'm like, we might not have met our best friends, and if you don't keep yourself open all the time, like, are you going to shut yourself off and not meet new people? Like God could put the most amazing people in our lives that were meant to be our best friends, and you didn't even give them a chance. So it's kind of the same thing to me. Like. And that's why church, like I love with baby girl, like with AAU basketball, we went on the road a lot last year. So we went to church, we go to church every Sunday. And I told the coach, I'm like, hey bro, we'll be late. Like it was the elitist basketball that you can get, like high level. But I'm like, he's like, we need to be here at this time. I was like, we'll be at church and then we'll come. Like, cause I don't think there's anything more powerful I can give my daughter. There's nothing more powerful that I can give my daughter than saying basketball can wait because this is way more important.
Yes. And what did the coach say?
He said, fine. If you're good enough, you'll play. They need you regardless. Like, but this year we've had 2 tournaments. She's missed twice on Sundays because we've got church. It's a non-negotiable. So like, it's not going to happen.
So she knew, right?
Leah
knew?
Yeah.
Oh, so, okay.
Leah was fine with it?
No, she was pissed.
Was she?
I don't give a crap. She's
Leah's his daughter. She's how old?
A 15-year-old girl. Boy, you talk about needing prayer. Good Lord. Like, that's the hardest thing we've ever done. It ain't even close, bro. It's tough. She is very difficult. Like, incredibly selfish. She's got a tender heart. She's got a lot of great qualities, but like, we're definitely going through things just like everybody else, but she can be extremely difficult. No, she doesn't love it. Just like when we sat down this year and we talked about we're not traveling for basketball because her team went all over the place last year. But wife was in a different position. We were in a different position. We weren't there a lot. And then when we were, it was the later in the season so we could do things together. But I was like, baby, this ain't about you. Like Nicholas, our son's getting recruited. So we're going on recruiting trips. So this is our last year with him.
Yeah, that's it.
I said, you're way down the list, baby. Like, you're way down here. Like, and when it comes to priorities in your basketball, well, I want to play college basketball. You're a sophomore. There's plenty of time to play college basketball. Like, go work on your craft. Like, you can go work on your craft in the backyard. You can go work on your craft wherever you want to go work on your craft. Like, we're setting the standard for our family. We're setting what's important, not everybody else, and you don't have to do all this stuff. So,
where does that come from? Where there's just no wavering with your priorities and making sure your kids, because kids these days a lot of kids aren't used to hearing no.
No, and they're running households. Well, you want, like, my job for my kids is to show them that they're not the most important thing in this universe. And I think you always got to be careful what you pray for, but we're trying to prioritize, like, what are the Pollacks? What do we stand for? What's the most important thing? church is more important than anything in our house that we do.
Mm.
So sport, if I'm saying that, I've got to show them. And if I skip basketball games or if I skip church to go to basketball games, I might be telling them that God's more important. I'm showing them that church is more important, or I'm showing them that sport's more important.
Exactly.
So like, I think what we've prayed for a long time, and and listen, be careful what you pray for, because we've prayed for like, God, can we get more hard with our kids? Because I've never once prayed for my kids' protection. I don't pray for that. I pray for their resilience. Like I want them, when they face something, to be like, they turn right to God. They're lockstep, like bring it on, not, oh my gosh, shell shocked, So I think you have to provide those opportunities. So we have to provide those opportunities to trip, to stumble, to mess up, like to realize that you're not high on the pecking order. Like that these come before you. Like baby girl, when she was growing up, I'll never forget, she was like, I'm your favorite, ain't I, Daddy? I was like, and I'd point to my wife, I'd be like, hold on, that's my girl. She was here before you, and she's gonna be here after you. So yes, you're my favorite after her. Like, and it depends on the week with your brother, and the day with your brother. But like just showing them those things are important. But a lot of households I see are very driven by kids centric.
Yes.
Kids don't come first. Like here on this earth, the kids come after the wife, after the marriage. And so prioritizing that and showing them that is a big thing that we can, because then guess what they're going to do? They're going to do that when they have a marriage, right?
Exactly.
Because more is caught than taught. Like they see better than they hear.
Mm-hmm.
Like they don't listen to us half the time, but they're going to see what we're doing.
And not doing.
Yes, which is more important.
Fluoride. The government has been adding it to your drinking water for over 80 years. Not because you asked for it, not because you voted for it, but because someone else decided it was a good idea. Personally, I don't love the idea of anything being added to my water without my say. That is exactly why I started filtering every drop of drinking water in my home with Cove Pure. Right now, more than 200 million Americans are drinking fluoridated water. And yet, in September of 2024, a federal judge ruled that adding fluoride to water poses, quote, an unreasonable risk to neurological health. That's not a fringe opinion. That's the federal court telling the EPA to take action. Then in January of 2025, a study published by JAMA Pediatrics, one of the most respected medical journals in the world, found a link between fluoride exposure and children's IQ scores. The higher the exposure, the lower the IQ. Some states are starting to respond. Utah and Florida have already banned it, but change like that takes time. Meanwhile, you're drinking the same fluoridated water every single day, and you need a solution now. Cove Pure uses clear-wave reverse osmosis technology to remove up to 99.9% of contaminants, including fluoride, PFAs, lead, pharmaceuticals, and heavy metals, basically anything that shouldn't be in your water. What I love about it is how simple it is. The water tastes incredibly clean. Setup was quick, and I love having instant hot and cold water right at my fingertips. So don't wait for the government to catch up. Go get a Cove Pure today. If you use my link, covepure.com/sage, you'll get $250 off. That's COVEPURE, covepure.com/sage. I had a friend, the friend I've had the longest, which was just senior of high school, because
you have friends?
Moved around. I have a couple, although a lot of them won't acknowledge that they know me right now. It just depends everybody's been canceled really likes me. Everybody else might like me in secret because they can't admit to liking me.
No.
And it's okay. You know what? Honestly, we'll talk about that later, but gosh, you learn so much when you go through challenges and who your people
awesome.
are. And it's such a relief, actually. But Mike Jackson from Westfield, Indiana, and then we hung out together all the time. We were all in the same dorm in Indiana, but we went to church youth group, and it was my first non-Catholic church youth group. It was senior of high school, and he is the first person I ever heard say that that's what his parents told him. We love you with all our hearts. We'll do anything for you, but it wasn't a but. It's an and.
Yeah.
And your mom comes first. Your dad comes first. We were here before you. We created you. And once you leave our butts, we're going to be here without you. So if we don't prioritize us, we're not doing our jobs. And he said, it was healthy. He knew where he stood. And I thought it was beautiful and so simple. But you're probably only like the third or fourth person I've ever heard say that they are currently like, that is the priority. That is how you are choosing to raise your kids.
And it's got to be intentional.
Yeah.
It's got to be, because there's so much busyness and schedules and stuff that you got to work together. But that's like, prioritizing her, communicating with her. Like, so much of your relationship is about communication, right? Like, so much of it. And, I love to do this instead of asking, how are you? How are you? I'm good. Like that is such a vague thing that most women and most men are just about, I'm good. I'm good. Like, try this with your spouse. What are you out of 10? Because when my baby doll says 4, I got to be there for her today. I got to step up. I got to make sure that I'm checking in. I got to make sure that I'm doing the things that she needs done around the house. I got to plug in. Like, it immediately puts some urgency on you. When she says a 9, I'm like, all right, she's good, right? Like, so I think it's important. We got to stay in tune with them and keep communicating, and set rules with the household. Always back each other, right? Like, even if you're horribly wrong, and we've had a lot of that over the last year, like, because we've had a lot going on and different things. Like, a lot of, like, she'd say something, I'd be like, I like tick a little bit, like, I do not agree with that whatsoever, but I
in
just
front of the
shut my
kids.
mouth, and then afterwards I'd be like, babe, we might want to revisit that. Like, I don't necessarily agree with that. But raising kids, it's the hardest thing I've ever done.
Yeah.
I mean, it is extremely difficult. But man, if you want it to be different, you want it to look different, and you want it to feel different, you want your kids to be different. Like, one of my favorite accounts in the Bible, not stories. Stories can be fake. Stories can be made up. One of my favorite accounts in the Bible is David and Goliath. And everybody's heard David and Goliath. But, like, when David comes back down the hill, King Saul's there with one of his advisors, and David's still holding Goliath's head. And Saul comes up to him. He's like, hey, who raised, like, he said, who raised you? Who's your dad? He said, who's your dad? And what he was saying was, who raised that giant killer? That's what he's saying. And, like, that's what I want to do. Like, I want to raise giant killers. Like, I want to raise my kids to be different, to be unique, and to look different. And it's going to take you being different. It's going to be being okay with being the weirdos. Like, my son's dating now, and that's an interesting dynamic, because his friends are allowed to do X. He's not allowed to do X.
Like what? Like what?
We got all these rules, bro. And
boy.
So we have the 1/3
Love
rule.
it.
So on the weekend, you have 1/3 family, 1/3 friends, 1/3 girlfriend. Like, we don't abandon our friends because we have a girlfriend now. Like, we're going to spend time together as a family. So we don't just go all buck wild and do whatever the heck we want to do. So, like, just helping him place guardrails on his relationship, like the rules at the house. Like, we're not going to go in the bedroom. Like, you know what can go on in that bedroom. Like, buddy, I've lived it. I promise you. I know you got strong convictions, and he does. He's got great, strong convictions, and I love what he is and who he is. But, like, let's not put ourselves in a bad situation where something bad could happen. But, when he's coming home, like, we're big on, like, hey, like, buddy, leave by this time, not be home, because then I don't want you rushing and speeding, but leave the house by this time. Well, golly, that's early. My friends get to stay out till X. Okay, well, the law says to be home by midnight. You're not allowed to be on the road. So that's the law. Like, but one thing that's been really good for us is we now sit down with him when we start to feel a little bit of friction, and we're just like, hey, man, what do you want more of? And I have to do a better job of coming to that with a good attitude, because I'm always intense. You know me, like, you've worked with me, like, this is me. I'm always intense.
Always.
So they think I'm intense, and I'm like, I woke up like this, like, and I'm going to bed like this. Like, just bear with me. So I sat down the last time we sat down about the girlfriend conversation, I did this the whole time. I was like, I go, hey, buddy. I go, hey, we want to talk about something. And I just smiled like an idiot the whole time. And it created some brevity, but I was just like, what do you want more of? And we talked through, and he was like, I would just like to know when I need to get off the phone. I was like, okay, so weeknights, what time do you think you should get off the phone? He was like, well, if I get off at 10, I can still get 8 hours of sleep. I'm like, okay, done, buddy. He was like, I'd like to know what time I need to be home. What time do you want to be home on weekends when you get to see her? How's 11:30? I was like, done. But there's so much, like, we don't know what they're thinking. They don't know what we're thinking. So when you sit down and you just ask questions, man, like, I get into his life, and now I get to understand what he wants. And it's not as complex as you think sometimes. I'll never forget, this was a year and a half ago. He was like, y'all are just strict. I was like, what are we strict on? He was like, my friends can play video games whenever they want. I was like, okay. I said, buddy, he's like, I have to ask to play video games. I said, buddy, we've never told you have to ask to play video games. It's like, it's what you've always done. I was like, if you want to play video games, play video games. He was like, oh. I was like, all you got to do is ask, buddy. The worst they can say is no, which I love now because he's getting a little bit more, he's growing and getting a little bit more, I mean, he's getting more balls. Like I can say it. He's getting more balls. And so like, he's like, he asked me the other day, he was like, hey, can I see my girlfriend? And I was like, buddy, you know the 1/3 rule. He goes, yeah, but you tell me all the time to ask. He's like, the worst thing you can say is no. And I was like, that's what I'm talking about. I was like, I love that, buddy. But,
yes.
But I tell you what I'm the most proud of, and what I'm the most proud of watching him with a girlfriend is the way he treats her. Man, it makes me feel proud. Like out of all the things as a parent, like I'm like, all right, I've done something right because he's really, really thoughtful and considerate and loving and kind. And I'm like, man, I did something right. I didn't do everything right. I promise you that.
But that goes directly to not what you're saying, but what they witnessed you doing with their mother.
Yeah, and that's my girl. So
I know. And this is the best story for those people who haven't heard it. But wait. Like no one has actually seen what's on your feet. Can we just show off these beauties?
I mean,
because
we tried to do these socks. You know, she does these beautiful socks, but like I don't know who these are for, but Frodo didn't come today.
Frodo.
But you know,
I failed
14s
you.
or 15s, I guess, just fit a little bit different than some of the other folks.
Here's a good thing.
You've seen Tommy Boy, right?
With
Fat
he died.
guy
What's his name?
in a little
Chris
coat.
Farley?
Or Chris, yeah.
Yeah.
That's what my feet feel like right now.
Are they size 14?
Yeah.
Listen, I'm never gonna have socks that fit that. Okay, we will special order once I get my merch deals going, which
Sweet.
someday.
Somebody
I'm
needs to get
throwing
on
it out there. Come on, guys, help me. But there's very few men that I have interviewed that have had a conversation with that would have been willing to do this. Thank you, David Pollack.
Oh, you're welcome. You're my homegirl. Listen, we've been doing this for a while. Like
we have, and I was trying to think about that the other day in preparation for this because this man wrote a book, and we'll talk about that. But
it's proof that anybody can write a book.
This is actually true.
Oh,
yes,
100% facts.
So it's still long enough to do it. But when did you start doing like SportsCenter hits at ESPN? Because that's for those of you who don't know, shame on you. That this is where I met David 100 years ago. But approximately, I want to say because or was it just game day?
Let's see, game day. I mean, I was like 2 years into TV when I got on game day.
I know,
which is crazy.
It is crazy. People
unworthy.
like us would look at people like you, like really.
I didn't deserve it.
Work a
I agreed. I 100%
you wrote
agreed.
About that.
I didn't feel worthy to do it by any stretch. But I would say 2008ish.
Oh, really?
I did it for 15 years.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, for 2023 was my last year.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah,
it was 23 because you left right before I did. But
such a nice way to say it. I left right before she did. I got canned.
That's true.
But you know, my mama, my mama gets so mad. She's like, stop saying you got fired. You got laid off. I go, Mom, they told me not to come back. We can phrase this however you want, Mama. Like they said, your key don't work no more. You're not here. I'm like, but yeah, I mean, you try to put that.
This spring, if you're ready to actually see and feel real results like better gut health, glowing skin, stronger hair, and steady energy, it might be time to add colostrum to your daily routine. Because when your gut is healthy, so many other things in your body start working better too. And that is exactly why I've been paying more attention to products that support gut health in a real, meaningful way. Today's sponsor is Cowboy Colostrum. What stood out to me about this company is their commitment to quality and transparency. Their colostrum is sourced entirely in the US from grass-fed American cows, and they focus on using true first-day whole colostrum, which is where the highest concentration of beneficial nutrients come from. It's naturally rich in compounds like immunoglobulins and growth factors that help support your immune system and gut health. And something I really appreciate is how responsibly they source it. Cowboy Colostrum only collects the surplus after the calves have had what they need first. They also keep the product as close to its natural state as possible. It's whole, full-fat colostrum that's high in protein and nutrient-dense without being heavily stripped down or overprocessed. The reason people are turning to colostrum is because gut health touches so many parts of your overall well-being. When your gut is supported, people often notice improvements in things like skin clarity, hair strength, digestion, and consistent energy throughout the day. And it's also really easy to add to your routine. Just mix a scoop into your coffee or your smoothie, and they've got awesome flavors like chocolate, Madagascar vanilla, matcha, and strawberry made with real ingredients like freeze-dried strawberries. I've been trying Cowboy Colostrum myself, and what I like most is how simple it is to work into my day. I usually mix it into a smoothie or coffee in the morning, and it's one of those habits that takes almost no effort but supports a lot of different things in your body. The focus on gut health is what really caught my attention, because when your digestion and gut health are working properly, you start to notice improvements in other areas too. For a limited time, my listeners get up to 25% off their entire order. Just go to cowboycolostrum.com/sage and use code SAGE at checkout. That's 25% off when you use code SAGE at cowboycolostrum.com/sage. Okay, we're gonna go backwards then, because you never want, I mean, when I was there, I never wanted anyone. No one wants anyone laid off, whether you're friends with them or not. Yeah. And you don't have to say this or agree. I'm gonna say it. I thought that was a stupid decision, not because I love you, but because this is my way of evaluating, because I'm an expert, analysts. If they get done with their segment, which is usually a pretty short amount of time, you had to get through it on SportsCenter and even on game day, because you had 5 guys needing to talk. And I could take something from it and learn something from what you said. Somebody who's been there, done that, talking to me and millions of people who never will be. That's the sign of a good analyst. And that's what you were. And I learned every time you were on TV. And you did it with joy. I could tell you were having so much fun, even if it was your 14th hit of the day.
That was awesome.
So to me, it was a stupid business decision.
Well, I don't get to make those decisions.
I know, and I don't either.
But it was awesome. Like, what a ride. And speaking of like starting off, like, I didn't deserve that. So you year 2, I think I'm on the first part of it with Aaron Andrews, like doing the first hour, and then it grows, and I got Maria Taylor and Sam Ponder.
Yep.
Like, I mean, the list goes on. I mean, I didn't deserve to be there. So then you get there and you continue to work and grow. And
I'm just saying, and I'm not expecting you to actually, agree with me about it being stupid. I wanted to share that because at the end of the day, I think everybody's goal, no matter where you work, by the way, news, weather, sports, is how do you put the best television on for the viewers? Because that's why we do it. For those people who will never be in an NFL huddle like you were. You know what I mean? And
well, that's why you're good at your job.
Well, thank you, but that
you always
was
do it with
the
a
goal.
smile. You always brought joy. That's why you did it.
I loved it.
I remember when you came back for the first day, and I did a hit with you.
After my teeth got knocked out?
No, I think after a brief, what do you want to call it, suspension, or it was a little a reprieve. A reprieve?
Yes. Well, it was a suspension. It was a paid suspension, but it was a suspension. Yeah.
I mean, at least you got paid.
I was nervous. I was so nervous.
Were you? I think I was on with you that day, because I just remember when I did the hit, I was like, "Welcome back."
You're gonna make me cry. See?
I'm gonna cry too. Don't worry.
Honestly, because there had been, I haven't thought about this, because there had been such hatred and vitriol and threats based on that decision by them to suspend me, and that was their decision. I mean, I was told,
wrong decision, but they're right.
I think so too, but it's okay. Yeah. Like again, you don't change. It's all for a reason. I wouldn't change a thing. But I mean, they made it very clear. Your teammates, your colleagues are embarrassed by you. They hate. Like, this is what bosses told me. So when you came on in the commercial break before, when we were like, "Hey, can you hear me?" Audio check, and then when it was live, you made a point to say that, and I know 100%. That was not an accident.
No, I mean, no, but it was true though. Like, it was. Because you do those hits, and then when you get obviously it's a different animal. So it was just, and it is. It's just you don't have to explain that to anybody. But like, there's a difference. Like, there's some people that have a glow and a joy, and they just bring it with them wherever they're at. And you were one of those people. So like, I was like, heck yeah, welcome back. And yeah, the fact that they told you that, like, that your teammates and stuff, because that couldn't be any more opposite. And that's where I'm like,
there were some for sure.
Well, no, there were some, but not all.
No, like, but they make you feel that way. Correct. They could try to keep you and put.
There's a bunch of idiots in the world. Yeah, they're right. It's their right to be an idiot. There's a bunch of people that don't have to agree, and but no, I remember that. But it just meant
these are the human parts of it, right?
Yes,
where it's like human. Thank you, and then okay, let's talk about football, whatever game that was. But like, I remember having to like, okay, blink. I was doing this when you inflict pain so you don't get choked up. It's
I've
like,
never
don't
done that.
do it. Oh, I have bled before where it's like,
Really?
oh yeah.
I ain't getting around you with them nails, girl. Good Lord.
No, but when you're nervous, whatever it is. And I was like, David just made me feel welcome. And I know there's people right now who are probably cussing him out because that means he might actually like me as a friend. Like, what
Yeah.
is this? If you've been feeling more tired than usual or dealing with bloating after meals, or if no matter how much water you drink, you still don't feel hydrated, those could be signs of a dehydrated liver. Not dehydrated like just drink more water, but dehydrated at the cellular level. Here's what most people don't realize. Hydration isn't just about how much water you drink. If your liver cells aren't absorbing the water at the cellular level, it'll just pass right through you. And when your liver is dehydrated, everything suffers. Your energy tanks, your digestion slows down. You hold on to stubborn weight, and you feel decades older than you actually are. Plain water can't fix this on its own, and most electrolyte drinks are full of sugar and salt. That's where LTV from Up Wellness comes in. LTV is a daily hydration drink designed to support your body at the cellular level. It combines marine electrolytes with taurine to help your cells retain water, plus ingredients like milk thistle and dandelion root to support your liver's natural detox function. Many people notice a real difference after just a few weeks. Better energy, less bloating, smoother digestion, and finally feeling properly hydrated all over again. So if you're ready to hydrate your liver at the cellular level, go to drinkltv.com/sage to get your hands on LTV today. They're offering up to 64% off right now, but only through my link. Again, go to drinkltv.com/sage or click the link in this description. So point being, you got that news. I think it was July of 23.
Yeah.
July, when I mean, was it a phone call?
It was a phone call, yeah. In total me fashion, like no clue. So I pick it up and it's Lee Fitting, and I'm like, "What's up, dude? It's June." I'm like, "We're about to go on a trip to Boston and Maine and stuff." And he's like, "Hey," and I was like, "What's up, dude? How's Drew? I was asking his kids and stuff." And then it was like 45 seconds in, and I was like, "Ooh." I was like, I don't think this is going to go well. Like, I read it. I was like, I read in the room. I was like, man, I don't know that this is going to go well. And then he was like, hey, man, you know, we're having some let goes, and you're going to hear about some stuff over the next couple days. And I was like, yeah. I was like, sweet. Okay. I was like, dude. And I said it right there on the phone. I was like, man, thank you so much. Like, what an opportunity. Like, I got to go travel the world. I got to bring my son to like 29 campuses. I'm like, dude, this wasn't a job. This was amazing. And so yeah, but it was out of the blue for sure. And then it was, you know, how do you handle the next steps and what's going to come and all the stuff that comes with it.
Did they give you a reason?
They said layoffs.
Just
they just said layoffs.
Nothing performance-wise, nothing.
No, I mean,
Yeah.
I think they were making changes at the network, and
Sure.
you know, I think that there's a lot of people that speculate and see different things and stuff. But no, I mean, I don't know. I tried not to think about it too much because I found, man, that like there's very little difference between success and failure. Like, it's really just how you handle it and how you address it. So I'm way less concerned about what happens to me. I'm way more concerned about my response. And so, you know, I told my wife, and she was like, "What?" And then the weirdest part, there was two weird parts. One, I was like, "Babe, let's tell the kids before the trip," because I said, let's just get out of the way. And she was like, "Okay." And then my baby girl was like, "Are we gonna be okay?"
Yeah.
And I was like, "Yeah, we're fine, babe. Like, God will provide. Like, we're gonna have money. We're gonna be fine." But the hardest call was Reese, like, because I know Reese didn't know. There's a good chance the decisions that were being made there, they were made by people knew what was going on. Like, there's a large part of that show. There's a part of that show that's very well connected to so-and-so and people. And so called Reese, and that made me cry. I was crying. Like, I was crying in the airport. I remember going through, and I was just like, because that's my dude. Like, I just love that dude.
Reese Davis is an incredible human and so talented.
So good.
So everybody knows he's great, and he's still underrated. Like, I love him, and I feel like he had your back. I feel like you had his back, obviously, but it was a team.
Yeah,
and
he always does.
What you said, you don't think he knew? Was he?
No, he didn't know. He absolutely didn't know, and he wouldn't have been a part of that decision-making process.
Sure.
I can promise you that. But no, telling Reese was hard because you know circumstances affects friendship.
Yeah.
Like that's just the way it works. Like if you're not around somebody all the time, it's hard to be friends with them. And I knew it would change our relationship, which really bummed me out. But he was like, dude, I'll be in Athens. I'll be around. I still want to support your stuff you're doing with your foundation. Like he immediately, made it better and stuff. But no, it was good to talk. But he always says all the time, he's like, you're the little brother I never wanted. That's what Reese always said.
A lot of people have said that about you.
Yeah, that's valid. There's a lot. I mean, listen, I ain't for everybody. I get that. I understand that.
Yeah. Have you kept in touch with anybody else?
Yeah, I mean, somewhat. Not like I probably more behind the scenes, like with Jimmy G, who's the producer of Game Day, and then I'll get notes from some folks, but I don't keep up with too many of them. When Lindsay's health stuff happened, I heard from a bunch of folks, which was cool. That was very sweet of people, but it's just circumstances.
You're such a positive person, and yes, you're grateful, and you said I never deserved it in the first place. Fine, but it's got to be disappointing to get that kind of a call when you feel like you've given it your all, you've tried, you've listened, you're a good teammate. I mean, there's that human element, even if it's not your fault, right? Like, how did you handle that disappointment after 15 years of like that was life and that was part of they were another extended family for you?
I think I didn't feel disappointment.
Really?
Mm-mm. And I didn't feel shame. I didn't feel failure. I felt gratitude. Like I don't think it wasn't smile or wasn't cry because it's over. It was smile because it happened. And you couldn't tell me otherwise. Like I just was like, dude, I got to do that. And that's really cool. And the fun thing that happens, man, is, and for all of us, we get on our bike or the hamster wheel and we pedal and we go and we look up, it's 5 years and then it's 10 years and then it's 15 years. So you got 15, 16 years that have gone by. And honestly, like it kind of stopped me in my tracks and was like, all right, what do you want to be? What do you want to do? So it was a really good time in my life, like about 40 years old. It's like, what do you want the next 10 to look like? What do you want the next 20 to look like? And it was a great litmus test. And it was a great, like, what's the art of the possible? That doesn't happen.
No
I'm pointing to
way.
the book. There's no way I write a book.
There's
like,
no way.
No way.
Not with that schedule.
No. And so I think it's, it was like that was a good check. It was a good, like, to not travel was awesome. Like to go from traveling, I mean, I'm about to hit 1 million miles on Delta. Literally.
Wow.
1 million miles in the air. Like some people look at that as really cool. It's not cool because that means I was gone a lot, right? So like I missed out on a lot. Nicholas was starting 9th grade year of football. Got to coach it. 9th grade, 10th grade, 11th grade. He's going into his senior year. Not going to miss one. I coach baby girl and varsity girls basketball. Get to go to all of them. Don't miss anything. So I think like the timing was perfect. And I just think it was another step in the learning and another step in, where do you want to be? What do you want to do? And it's been really fun the last couple of years, like exploring that and figuring it out. Like, what do I want to be when I grow up? I know I'm not there yet.
How old are you now?
But like 43.
43.
Yeah.
Don't grow up. You can't. I mean, at
I'm
this
not going
point,
to.
it's definitely not
but
happening.
it would definitely taking steps in that direction, for sure.
What is the biggest lesson you learned during all those years at ESPN?
I think it was kind of cool because it was like, NFL gone, and then new goal, new dream. Okay, let's go get it, and then gone. I think I'm firmly believe that like, I think God gave me another chance to do something really special and cool. Because I think he wanted me to do this and he wanted me to influence and inspire and do a better job than I did the first time. And when I say that, when I was in college and I got the status or celebrity, man, it was overwhelming.
Yeah.
Like it was a lot. And there's not a lot of places to go in Athens and you're not getting away from camera phones and you're not getting away from people. And so as a 18, 19, 21-year-old, the 21-year-old, like it's a lot to ingest. And so like, I really wanted this opportunity, the next opportunity for me was like, all right, let's go maximize this. Like you got 5 minutes with somebody, make it count. Like, and so I think I learned that like when you're trying to pursue something new, you're going to start at the bottom again. And that was okay. Like I literally remember doing Fox SEC Gridiron Live. My mama didn't watch. I know nobody was watching, but like what an awesome opportunity to now take that craft and grow. And you know what it takes? It takes some grimy years. It takes some freshman years, some sophomore years. Like I literally was like, dude, you're a freshman in college. You're a freshman in college. Go earn it. Don't complain about it. You know what else?
I'm sorry to interrupt you. I feel like that was the attitude that I felt when you came onto the scene, when you started doing game day, and it was like, hey, I don't know, I'm the new kid here, but I'm just going to tell it like it is.
Well, that's the only way I know how to do it, and that's not always good for everybody around you, and that caused plenty of problems because I remember, and this is pre ESPN craziness, right?
Yes.
Like where it's gone now. I remember being told to dial it back. Like literally like, hey, you're a little bit much. Like, don't be too crazy. And I'm like, okay. I mean, I just like this. I remember vividly talking to certain people on our set about we do things different at game day. We're not like every other show. And because I'm always all over the place. And so I learned to kind of tame it a little bit and to kind of, fit in a box a little bit more than was me. But yes, like always take pride. You're going to get a straight answer. You're going to know where I stand. Georgia fans get so mad at me because I'm Benedict Arnold. I'm a traitor if I pick against Georgia.
Exactly.
And I'm like, dude, did you hear the 16 good things I said about them? And I'm for Georgia, but like I'm also, you know why I'm like that, by the way? When I started TV, I watched Lou Holtz, Arkansas, South Carolina, Notre Dame. Every time he picked all of them. Every time I tuned him out. So I literally was like, I'm not going to do that as a broadcaster because I'm not going to be like him because half the country is going to tune me out and think I'm not serious.
But then they also say, well, he's only picking against them to make sure people don't think that he's biased. The point is you're always this was my experience, we're always going to be honest, give your honest opinion because at the end of the day, you didn't really care what people thought. No. You did write in your book about people on set, like you wrote about Kirk in particular, who's like, okay, you got the suit on, and then you're wearing these ugly tennis shoes. Like, there's places to find decent, cheap shoes, Pollack. What are we doing?
I remember how he said it. He's always like, kid, like, don't wear sneakers. Like, he was like, I'm like, bro, I'm a defensive lineman. Like, I'm not a pretty boy. I put my hand in the dirt. Like, I've been fat my whole life. Like, I said, I'm already in a suit. And I hate this suit. I hate every second of it. And by the way, I told my wife when I got canned, I will never put a suit on another day in my life. I went to Reese's daughter's wedding. I did not wear a suit.
Stop.
Wore a t-shirt underneath a coat. Like, that's it. Not putting a suit, not doing suit and tie. Nope. But like I told him, I was like, man, I can't do that. Like, I'm already uncomfortable as it gets. And but yeah, he was like, dude, this is your brand. This is who you are and how people think of you. And I'm the worst brand builder on the planet. And when I meet with people now too, and they're like, hey, let's build your brand. I'm like, I'm not a brand. I'm me. And you like it or you don't like it. And that's okay. Like, and I talk about this in the book too. Like, and this is where I'd say, you've grown so much personally. There's it liked versus respected. Mm-hmm. I don't need to be liked. I'm not doing things to be liked. I want to be respected. Yeah. Now, God gave that to me. Like, he definitely gave me that gift. I remember going on the campus of Georgia. Like, I was there to take somebody's job. And I did not care if anybody liked me. Most people hated me. Like, but I wanted to prove, like, I don't care if you care who I am and my personality. I want you to respect who I am. Respect how I treat people. But you're not going to like, because guess what? If you're always doing something to be liked, you'll never be happy. Because some people don't like rich people. Some people don't like poor people. Some people don't like fat people. Some people don't like skinny people. And some people don't like people. And y'all know who those people are. Exactly. If you don't, I'm sorry, it might be you. But that's just like, some people don't. So like, if you're going to define yourself or let that take a hold of your life, like, you will always be miserable.
Always. It's so freeing. And I think you felt my growth with that without even us talking 100%. About it. And sometimes it's just what you type and what you post. Other times it's the way you say it and do it. And I'd say those last several years at ESPN, even after I, returned from the suspension, it was like, then you go, wow, all those people that you thought would, no. So if you aren't okay with yourself, then of course you're going to be worried about everybody else. The respect word is so important. And I think sometimes it can be overused, but respect, fine. Do you feel like you were respected by your teammates on game day?
Yeah, I do. I feel like they respected the work I did and the job I did. I'm not sure that they always Yeah, I mean, I feel like they respected me as a person too.
Yes.
And I got so many texts, and especially behind the scene guys, which I love.
They're
Like,
the ones that matter.
I
Not that the others don't.
I love all of those guys, and we could literally go down the list of those guys. But yeah, I think so, because I got so many texts from the crew and so many people over those next week that it was just like, holy cow, I can't believe this happened. I'll never forget. I got a text from Aaron Murray, and he was like, hey man, like so glad we didn't get fired because he's ESPN, and it hadn't been released yet. And I was like, you didn't.
No, poor Aaron.
I literally said, you didn't, bro. I didn't make the cut. But no, I do. I feel like.
What did he say? He's like, oh,
yeah,
what do you
nothing you can do. Ain't no backtracking that. But no, I do. I feel like, and I take pride in that because I want to do a great job, and I want to put everything into it. And my goal was always to teach the audience and to do it having fun. But and here was my thing. I did not have relationships with coaches. I didn't have coaches' numbers. So I didn't reach out. Like, it's amazing how much stuff that some folks get, like, in detail of what play calls they're going to call and like how much they know about what's going on. I knew nothing because I wanted separation of church and state.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to say what I felt. And so that means I might say something that coach doesn't like. Now, I'm going to do it with respect. I'm not going to be a turd about it.
Sure.
But I'm also going to disagree.
Well,
and
you sometimes they were sitting right next to you on the set.
100%.
And you would say, go ahead.
Nick Saban? Oh my gosh, that was I didn't know. I didn't know it was a big deal.
Okay, explain.
Okay, so we're sitting on the national championship desk, halftime. Georgia's just open hand biatch slap to TCU. Sorry, TCU. Just smacking them around at halftime. And so Dez comes on and he talks about Stetson Bennett's story. And then Saban talks about, something else. And I'm like, the natural progression, like they've taken the stuff. And I'm like, okay, this is back-to-back titles for Georgia. Like, they're the king of college football. Like, they've taken the mantle away from, oh yeah, Nick. I mean, like, but he's there as an analyst.
I mean,
so
doing a job.
He's not there as Alabama coach Nick Saban. So I wasn't thinking like that. I don't think he was either. And literally, and then I don't think a thing about it. And nothing is made of this to my attention because I'm not even on social media half the time and not paying attention. The next morning, I got a get up hit, and I'm doing it with Greeny, and they replay it over and over and over again. I'm like, oh crap. Like, I didn't realize this might be a thing. And then it's everywhere, all over the place. And it's like people are putting memes
because what
to
did
it.
Saban say?
I don't think he said anything. I think it was like,
he had an expression.
It was an expression. His face said something.
But
I don't think we could say it here, but we couldn't say it on television.
No, but at the end of the day, like, you were doing your job.
Yes.
And it was a fact
100%.
that Bama had been unseated, and it just happened to be by the school that, I mean, you helped make even more famous.
Yeah,
right?
I wouldn't say that about. I just said that about any school.
That's my point.
Yeah.
It was a coincidence when you're telling the truth, and it happened to be your school and his school, and then it was like, oh,
oops.
Yes.
And then it was, and the social media went nuts, and I was just like, oh dang. I called Nick. that next night, and I was like, hey man, like, I was not doing this to like be intentional and be harmful. He was like, no problem. He was like, don't think twice about it.
So as usual, the internet made a much bigger deal of it.
Yeah.
Including ESPN, who's like, Greeny, here, play it and then react. David, what were you thinking?
And it was replayed in slow mode. It was awesome. It was outstanding.
It was phenomenal. Okay, it's something I always wanted to tell you. Maybe I have before.
Oh. This is fun.
Buckle up. No, there's so many people that I don't think fully understand the behind the scenes, which I love. I love the behind the scenes stuff. And again, the crews.
I've never
the
talked
people
about
who made
behind
it
the scenes
happen.
much, so this is good. I like this.
I'm talking specifically about you, and for most analysts, and this is across the board. I think at CNN, at Fox News, at Fox Sports, whatever it is. If you're coming on into a SportsCenter segment, for most analysts, you're telling them exactly what you're going to ask or which direction you're going. And you have to. Like most of them, many of them, the top ones require it. This one didn't want to know. You're like, I remember because it was happening. I was like, hey, I'm going to ask you. You're like, girlfriend, I don't care. Whatever you want to talk about, let's go, let's go, let's go. And I remember being like, this is so foreign to us because everyone else, I mean, it's stressful for many people. And they want to make sure that they have the exact perfect answer and reaction and tone. And you didn't care. And to me, it says a lot of course, everything about your awesome personality, but it's also because, and maybe most importantly, because you are so prepared that you could go in any direction. If I wanted to throw an NBA question at you on College Game Day, you could have done it.
Yep.
And I hope that you know that it was noticed by those of us who look for those things and appreciated, because that means you did your job.
I'm glad you appreciated it. I did a poor job in the beginning with that. If I could go back, it's not that I didn't think the rundown was necessary, but like I think people took it that way. So they would give me a rundown and I would throw it away. Like I wouldn't have it, I wouldn't use it. And here's what I know about me. I give you the best version of me when it's very conversational.
Yes.
When I'm answering questions.
Feeling.
And the number one thing I hated was when Reese or somebody threw it to you and you didn't hear when they insulted you or like said some kind of joke, because you're so in your head like I need to say this or I want to say this or these are my 3 nuggets.
Yes.
And so like I always made it a point to listen. And we're talking about football.
Yes.
We are not curing cancer. Like we are not doing something that's like so serious. Like, and that's one thing that Coach Corso, I think, did a really good job. I remember he'd be like, hey, football guy. But when I started Game Day, he'd be like, hey, football guy, it's entertainment, sweetheart. And that's a good lesson for me because I can get serious and like get in the weeds with football. But I was like, all right, just listen, answer the question. But that's, you know, that was the number one way for me to help me be me. It's just like speeches now. I do a lot of speaking and I love it. I love to speak. It's fun. I don't bring notes.
Yeah.
I don't, it's just not my thing.
Like,
and so if it's, if I do, it tends to make me a little bit more rigid and a little bit less conversational. So I think it's just a part of like knowing yourself.
100%. Well, and that's, you know, with SportsCenter, you had to always have everything. You had to have notes because they needed to know the exact roll cue to roll the video, to set up the graphic to get to you. And it's like, ugh.
Yeah,
that's why I love this. I'm like, oh, we just get to have a conversation and I know what I kind of want to talk about, but it depends where it goes because it's a conversation.
You should have seen me though.
And you're reacting.
Girlfriend, you should have seen me when I had to do Coke commercials.
Oh no, and they needed you to actually stick to script.
They put it in the teleprompter. You like it was going. I'm like, this is David Pollack. Hey, Coke good. and I literally, I said this, by the way. You talk about something you should never say. I was like, man, I'm sorry. I don't speak old white. That's exactly what I said. I don't speak old white people. Like I don't know how to speak like that. I said, can you do me a favor? Can you just put a bullet point? Like, hey, like introduce yourself. Talk about this. X. And so that's how we did it in the teleprompter.
They let you do that?
Yes, they let me do it. And I was
Coca-Cola?
I was like, what's up, dude? It's David Pollack here. Like, I don't say, hey, this is David Pollack. I'm like, what's up, man? Like, hey, dude, like, how you doing?
I know
Homie.
you can't.
Like, I don't have that. So it was an absolute train wreck. Like you talk about it was like a monkey humping a football. It was terrible.
Where did that analogy come from? A monkey? When's the last time you saw a monkey humping a football?
Exactly. They don't happen. So you would never see it happen.
But I'm thinking in Georgia, some in the backwoods of Georgia, you must have witnessed it. Do they have monkeys in Georgia? I don't know. This is all
Yes, of course they have monkeys in Georgia.
In the zoo. Okay. The one thing you want people to know about Lee Corso.
Oh my gosh. He was a lesson in humility every time we went on the road. First thing he did was go to church, but the way he treated people was unique. It was different. It was awesome. Like everybody mattered. He took time to speak to everyone. He was a nervous wreck until the headgear came, and then he would sit down and chill. But like he was so kind and so good to people, and it stood out. It very much stood out. And that's why you could see the adoration and love for him. But just every week, man, the way he treated the runners and the people behind the scenes, and it was just with just respect and dignity. It was awesome.
Have you stayed in touch with him at all?
A little bit. You know, Coach ain't got no cell phone.
That's
like
right.
Coach is a landline. So you're going to get him every so often. When he retired, I called him and every so often. But man, just one of one. Very rarely do you get to retire and you be one of one and contribute so much to the sport. Like everybody will tell you, like that game day exists because of him. Like, and that's humbling when you're up there with him. You're like, dude, this dude started this. This is the reason this is watched. And so special.
Yeah, well, he is a special, incredible man, and God bless him and his strength. And I mean, we need him to stick around with that pencil forever and ever. David, this is the 20-year anniversary in September of the day that your life really changed. Your injury when you were playing for the Bengals.
God, I'm old.
Wasn't careful. You say that on purpose because you know I'm older. Makes me so mad every time you do that.
Sage was in college, but anyways.
In 2006?
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll go with college. Plus about 12 years after graduating, 11. I think it was September 17th?
Yes, ma'am.
2006?
Yeah.
For those who don't know, I'm sure you're tired of telling this story.
No.
I think I have many viewers who aren't sports fans right now and don't know how you even got to ESPN after this first half of the show. But a day that I've tried through listening to a little bit, but reading in your book, like what goes through your mind when you know your life is on the line?
Well, from the time since I was 4 years old, if you to ask anybody, I would have told them I was going to play in the NFL. And so like I did nothing but prepare for that. Now, I'm not saying I didn't have setbacks and stuff like that, but I was watching the World Cup when I was in 8th grade. And I remember they talked about carbonation. And the girls, this is when Brandy Chastain ripped her shirt off for they said the girls stopped drinking carbonation during that time, during the World Cup, because it hurt their conditioning. That's the last time I touched a carbonated beverage in my life.
99?
Yeah, something around there.
That was that World Cup.
No, it was before that. I think it was 96.
The World Cup?
Was it 96?
99.
99? You sure? Well, I mean, you were 30, so I mean, I get it.
I hate you.
But like, that's the last time I touched it because I knew like, and I've always been driven, like to get there, I had to give up something. And I had to find edges and margins. And so like that was something that I was willing to give up because I wanted to get to a great spot. So when I say like, that's all I wanted to do, like school was ancillary. I hated school with a passion. Like my kids are watching, sorry, but they know school sucks. But like, so that was something that I worked towards. So, you know, that hit, that play, and I'll never forget going underneath the stadium strapped to the gurney. My upper body's not moving real well.
You're playing for the Bengals.
I'm playing for the Bengals.
The Browns.
Yeah, I was against the Browns. I hit the running back really hard. I went down, and when you break, I ended up breaking my neck. And by the way, when they told me like you fractured your C6, C7, I'm such a big dumb animal. I was like, that's cool. What am I got for a couple weeks? And they're like, that means you broke your neck. I was like, ooh. I remember saying, hey, can we stick to the fractured C6, C7? It sounds a lot better. It sounds like I can actually come back. But like you have the tops of the vertebrae and then you have the middle. And usually when you break your neck, you break the top or the bottom, like one of those two. Well, mine was a burst fracture, so I broke the whole vertebrae. But when I did, it went down and here's your spinal cord and it nicked it. So it's a totally different conversation if it severed it. And so I can't move my arms real well. And it's like when you fall asleep on your arms, if you've ever done it, and you wake up and you're like, I can't move, like you're crazy. But I remember getting in the ambulance with Baby Doll, and I remember tears, and I was just like, holy cow, like this might be it. And it's a weird feeling. But you know, to go to the neck brace, to go to the halo, and see, the halo is perfect because I've always been an angel.
Yes, it's so, very fitting.
I thought it was very fitting. But then my baby doll, my wife, she was my nurse for 3 months, which was amazing. The sponge baths were great.
Okay. That's the last time you really bathed. That's when Lindsay was bathing you, actually.
Touche. We'll get to that, I'm sure. But that was like, you know, to be 20 in your early 20s and to have a lifelong mission and dream and to have like to get it and then for it to be gone, like second year playing, it was a challenge, right? Like it was a holy cow, like this is what you wanted to do. Now what are you going to do? And I think that's why it parlays to the game day but you're so thankful. Like I realized what it could have been and you're like, no, thank you. I don't want any part of that. That's why going back, I was like, listen, if I'm at more risk than anybody else to get hurt, I'm out. And I could have gone back and pushed the envelope 100 times if I wanted to. But man, I was so appreciative to be out It was a struggle. It was weird, like for your body to be big and strong, and then all of a sudden, like I'll never forget, I benched 455 in college. I benched 135 twice when I got cleared to lift, and it was like this. And you're like, holy cow. But that's when my mindset of this started with Everyday Counts, because I'm like, okay, you can't do what you used to do. So let's make some goals today. What are you going to do today? I'll never forget, I was in my neck brace and I biked. I would bike in my neck brace to the 5 miles to the local community center in Ohio. And I was like, because it was a goal. Like, I got to get up, I got to move, I got to go, I got to do. Like, just because I'm in this neck brace doesn't mean I'm going to stop. And that's when I started to goal set. They looked different. My goals looked a lot different, and they were small, but I had to make those goals. I had to create a scoreboard. Men need a scoreboard. Like, I need a scoreboard.
That's smart.
Because when I have a scoreboard, I'm winning or I'm losing. And I think we all need that in life. And I think the older we get, the less we do of that. Like, I need to have those in a day. Like, I'm going to pursue this. I'm going to chase this. And we talk about in the book and like ways to create a scoreboard. Like, so you're not, because I think so many people, how do you climb a mountain one step at a time, right? You're going up the mountain one step at a time. I think so many people get to the top and they're like, dang, bro, I meant to climb that one, right? Like, so we've got to make sure that we intentionally take those steps. And I think when I slowed down and I couldn't do what I wanted to do, what I was used to doing, it was like, okay, how are you going to rewire this? How are you going to be different? How are you going to take these gifts?
You were forced to slow down.
Correct.
Forced to stop for the first time in your life.
First time ever. And look, this is me now. So I was way worse then. Like, I was all over the place, ADD. That was the coolest part about my faith, because I had a very transactional relationship with God. When I had time, I'd pray, which meant in the morning and before a meal, I might holler at him, like occasionally. And then when you're still and there's nothing going on, like people talk about all the time, I have so many friends like, hey, I don't hear from God. And I was like, well, are you getting still? I was like, in any relationship, it requires, I was like, if you have a girlfriend and you talk to them when you feel like it, you won't have a girlfriend very long. Like, God wants you to communicate with him, and he wants to have a relationship with you. And if you'll initiate that and you'll set some rhythms in your life and some cadences, you'll hear from God more. And I started to hear from God more, and he started to direct my steps more and gave me a peace and gave me some next steps that I never thought I would take.
Was there a chance that you would never walk again?
No, there wasn't a chance with that. Thank goodness. We didn't know if all the function in my arms would be there, but no, thank goodness my legs were good.
What prayers did you say when you had that halo on and those screws in your head?
They really weren't. They weren't different than normal.
Really?
Too much than normal. I think it's amazing because, and that's what I love about hard. That's what I love about adversity. That's what I love about fighting something that's really difficult to do, is when you're in it now, you're like, okay, how do I do this? How do I get out? And I think that's fun as you get older, if you'll look at it as fun and you'll look at it as like, these are the next steps. Like, God is for us. Like, and all of your stuff that you've dealt with, like, God is for me. He's not against me. God wants me to prosper and be successful. So if we'll look at things like, okay, this is a step. It ain't fun, but like, this is a necessary step to get me to where I need to go. And so I think you're always like, okay, God, what are the steps you want me to be? Where do you want me to go? What do you want me to do? And a lot of my prayers now is like, God, anytime, anywhere, any place. And I say that boldly, like, but where do you want me? Where do you need me? Like, where can I plug in to go make a difference? But I had a lot more time the Bible says, be still and know that I am God. I had a lot more time to be still. And I made a lot more space for God. And it was, man, it was so good. Like, it was so good. And
was it good in that moment when you got the news about the seriousness that if you continued to play, the risk for you was extremely high of next time it isn't quite as good?
I think I immediately, when anything happens, good or bad, I immediately shut my brain off. Like, I don't overreact to the good. I don't overreact to the bad. I don't even view them differently. Like, I really don't. So it's not an option. It's not there. So I guess I just don't, you don't think about, I don't think about like what could have been. I mean, I'll talk about it and I'll say it, but like, I don't ever waste energy going, man, it could have been this. Or man,
So there
it could
was
have been
no
that.
mourning process when football ended so abruptly. Coming out of being a 4-year-old kid and proving everybody wrong at every level when they're like, yeah, right, kid. And then my dream is NFL and they laughed at you then. And then you end up being a first-round draft pick. You're all everything. Wait, what was the stat? Second only to Herschel Walker.
3-time All-American.
3-time All-American at Georgia. Herschel Walker and David Pollack. Like, you rewrote those record books. And then you got to the league as a first-round pick. And then it's just gone.
But how cool was it that I did it?
So did it take you a minute to get to that?
No, I mean,
That just doesn't, that seems crazy and it's awesome.
I know what you're saying. Like, I mean, I think it was, I mean, I was just like, man, that was cool. I got to do that. I remember saying this, and I've said this at every turn. I remember like, I remember telling my baby doll, I was like, baby, like, I can't imagine what God has next. Like, we got to go to the NFL, first 17th pick in the draft. Like, and if God's taking this, I can't even fathom what's going to be next.
Yeah.
And I think that's the same thing with firing. I'm like, dude, if this is over, like, what's next? I bet I know. I don't know what it's going to be, but I know it's going to be awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Like, so, it's. I think we can get stuck, and we can look at outcomes, and we can look at, oh man, if I lose this, but I'm losing this for a reason.
Yeah.
And there's always something that good that comes out of it. It's not always the most fun to struggle through sometimes, but I think we don't know best.
We don't.
And so if we trust that and we understand that, I think it helps. Just like think about, what if we took divorce off the table in this country? Not an option. Like, not an option. There are reasons for divorce. You know that. Like, there are reasons. But like, what if marriages said, we're just going to fight?
Yeah.
Like, we're going to make this work. What if people did that across the country? Like, I'm going to make this job work. I'm not going to quit. Like, I'm going to make this friendship work. I'm not going to quit. Like, what we could get accomplished would be amazing. Mm-hmm. But I think that we get caught up in what we're supposed to have or what we deserve. Mm-hmm. And I remember my wife saying that. My wife goes, I can't believe Odell, who was our second-round pick for the Bengals, he throws it away. Like smoking weed and doing drugs. And he was like, and you got it taken away. And I was like, it's kind of the same thing with me as like people say all the time, why do bad things happen to good people?
Yeah.
And I'm like, there's not good people. Like, I'm just as flawed as Odell.
Absolutely.
Like, I'm just as messed up, and
who are we to judge?
Who's good and who's not? Like, the degrees of good, like, we're all jacked up. Like, we were born jacked up with all of our things. And so I think we just, you just take them in stride, whatever that is.
I know how important it is to you and has been from day one, it feels like, to be a man, to be a husband, to take care of Lindsay. And all of a sudden you couldn't. She had to take care of you.
Yeah.
In every way.
Yeah, that's not fun.
What was that like?
You're in a halo and she's having to clean my sights, and she's having to do everything for me. It's kind of emasculating, right? Like I can do this, I can do that, I don't need help. Lindsay's a natural nurturer, and she always has been since we started dating when she was 7. It's because we've known each other. She's the only girlfriend I've ever had, like literally. So we've been together for so long, it's crazy. So it definitely was interesting. It was probably more interesting for her because you're like, I married a big, strong first-round draft pick, linebacker, NFL player that, nope. Like now he's none of that. And so, that's kind of strange. But it was very humbling because you're like, man, boy, did I pick a good one. Like to watch her, it's not about me, it's about you. And to come in and serve and be my nurse and do all the things, it was like, man, this is pretty dang dope. Like I picked it. I did a good job of picking that one, that's for sure.
Yeah. Do you think that changed your relationship at all, that kind of role reversal?
100%. I think having something hard young, the first year of our marriage, like it was very, very good for our marriage. Like we probably wouldn't have survived some of the other stuff we survived later on if we didn't have a challenge at a young, and we were completely oblivious. Like youth is beautiful, isn't it? Like when you're naive and you have no clue what's going on and you just like, all right, this is the normal. Like, let's just rock and roll. Let's just go with it.
Yeah.
And so I think it was, it definitely, we got away in Ohio too, which I think was good, like to leave and cleave and get away from family for like a good distance away where they can't just pop in.
Mm-hmm.
And then we kind of built our own identity, and then it changed and morphed. And that's one thing about a marriage that I'll say, people tell people all the time, go read the 5 love languages. Now go be a good spouse. Completely agree. I'd say read it again in 5 years. I married a 19-year-old. Like, she's a woman now. Like, after babies, she's a totally different woman now. So the fact, if I'm still pouring into her love language that she was when she was 15, 16, 17, 18, like, I'm missing the mark here. Like, I need to figure out and grow with her. And so we definitely have grown together, and doing that at a young age really, it set our marriage out on the right path, I think, to be able to handle whatever was coming next.
19 and you were like 22?
Mm-hmm.
You were babies. Oh my goodness. But
we had it figured out.
I mean, at least
we had it all figured out, Sage. Just ask us.
At least you waited till she was legal.
Yes.
Barely.
Barely.
But is it true that you went to Georgia and did not go to Florida or Ohio State to be close to Lindsay?
100%.
Like, that was the deciding factor?
Yes. I tell Georgia fans all the time, it was Lindsay Pollack you need to thank. Like, it was proximity. I drove to Florida where they had it cooking with Steve Spurrier, and I went on my official visit. I'm like, this is 5.5 hours away from my baby doll? Like, absolutely not. Like, I flew to Ohio, and I was like, Mama, what's the white stuff on the ground? And she was like, that's snow. I'm like, we can leave now. Like, I'm out. Like, and God has a sense of humor. Get drafted by the Bengals, by the way. Back to that white snow.
Right back to Ohio.
Holy cow. But I was literally like, nah, I'm out. Oh, yeah. Like, I knew I wanted to be close to her, and she had 2 more years of high school. So, because she was so much younger. So I went to 2 proms. Like, as a Georgia football player, I came back to go to prom. But so, yeah, that was the number 1 recruiting tool Georgia had.
How did you know at such a young age that she was the one?
Man, it's kind of like with my salvation. Like, I met her before I got saved, and I just didn't know what it was like to love. I didn't know what it felt like to watch someone or be around someone that you could care so much about. And then, she was just perfect for me because she's chill. She's so organized. Like, she's so detailed, so driven in school, not in sports.
This is just like you.
Just like me, in every way, shape, or form. She was skinny, I was fat. And if you look at some of those pictures, I need to get you some of those pictures.
Listen, you were chunky.
Bro, I was holding weight for the winter. And she was tiny. When we got married, my quad, we measured, was bigger than her waist.
Shut up.
My quad. Like, that's how small she was. But like, I don't.
All muscle, of course.
Yeah, all muscle. But like, she just had a presence about her that was different, and a feel about her that was different, and an attitude that was different. And I'll credit her a lot of times too with, I don't know that I would have been ready to accept my faith when I did if I didn't have someone who softened my heart. Like, because I was just the person that, I didn't care about girls that much. I wasn't gay. I'm just saying I didn't care about girls. Like,
fine line.
I carried a football around tucked like this everywhere I went. Like, that was my love. And then Lindsay came in the picture and was like, ooh, what is that warm, chewy center feeling like, right? What is that warm feeling in here? So it just it changed everything about like the way I operated. And it was like, oh, this is awesome. Like, this is cool. This is unique. Why do I feel this way? And I knew. I mean, I 100% knew.
At 17.
I knew it. I gave her a promise ring when she was 15.
Oh my gosh. So you go to college, and your boys, I imagine, are giving you a little bit of a hard time. Like, what? There's a high school girl back home. You are the stud player at the University of Georgia. Go Dogs. And they're lined up. What was it? I mean, that's just unique. We all know guys are guys, especially at that age.
Yeah.
That made you say, oh no, I am not even going to pay attention to any of these options.
None of them. No,
it's rare.
They weren't baby doll. I mean, it was easy. But I tell people this all the time. And it's a weird saying, but make decisions before you make choices. I made the decision I was going to be a virgin until I was married. I made the decision I was going to not drink alcohol. So when the moment comes when it's kind of difficult and something weird comes up, that choice is easy because the decision's been made. This is who I am. This is what I am. But here's the thing that was cool. When I got to Georgia, I was a weirdo. Like, what's this, like, 15-year-old girlfriend back home? Like, you're alcohol. Hey, drink. Every time I went out, it was like, hey, drink, because everybody drinks, right?
Sure.
And the cool evolution of it, like versus respected later on, the cool evolution of that was like, I remember girls would come up when I did become an All-American and all that stuff, and my buddies would be like, he has a girlfriend. And as in the past, it had been like, hey, jump on this. Or alcohol, somebody would try to buy me a drink, and they're like, no, he doesn't drink. I'll take it, but he doesn't drink, But like, it was fun to watch them because they started to take pride in who I was.
That is cool.
It is I tell people all the time, it's really hard to say no the first time. But once you say no, it gets easier. The next time's a little bit easier. The next time's a little bit easier. But if you really say, like, this is who I am, this is what I stand for. And I tell my kids that all the time, like, what are your non-negotiables, man? Like, what are those things that you know that you really want to do? I talked to my son about now that he has a relationship, and he wants to do the same thing. He's like, I want to be, and I'll never forget, I'm talking about kissing, and I probably shouldn't talk about this because he was 17 years old when we were having this conversation. This was like 6 months ago. Shouldn't share this. Don't care. My wife says I'm an oversharer. I was like, buddy, like, have you ever kissed a girl? He's like, no. He goes, this French kiss thing's weird. And I was like, it's not. It's fantastic. And he was like, well, it just seems. I said, I get it. I said, and that's good. He goes, why would I start that if I don't want to have sex? Like, why would I even start something? I'm like, well, you're 17, bro. Like, that's a great way to think about it. Like, but I was like, you can't score from first base. That's what I told him. I was like, so stay on first base. But having those conversations with him has been awesome. Just talking about, like, how do we stay pure? If that's a goal, if that's a decision you've made, like, let's take out the temptation. Let's take out the opportunities, like back to the bedroom with keeping the door open or not being in a bedroom.
Not being in there, yeah.
But I had firm convictions, and just like with the alcohol, like I still to this day, I ain't seen one person that gets better with alcohol.
It's true.
Like, I just don't, I watch it, and I have buddies that I've talked to many times, and I'll tell them, I'm like, hey man, like, I don't enjoy being around you that much. Like, cause something else has a hold of you and it ain't you. And it kind of bothers me. But it's, if you can do that, who am I? What do I want to be? And then those are standard, and those are cut out, and those are in stone. Like, those are in stone. So then when I get to some of these temptations, like, I kind of got my answers.
What about that conversation with your daughter from a dad's perspective?
I think my daughter hasn't had any opportunities yet. It's not by lack of effort on her end. She definitely wants a boyfriend. But it's the same thing. It's showing her and telling her, like, it's okay to be different, right? Like, because we want to be in this world, but we don't want to be of this world. And I love talking to her about it because she's like, hey, I was like, what are we looking for? And I think with your kids, if you'll ask questions, it does a good job. But like, I just like with my daughter and my son always growing up, I'm like, hey, instead of telling them who to hang out with, I'd be like, who's your wisest friend? Who's that friend, like, that they're going to give you good advice no matter what? Who's your happiest friend? Who's your grumpiest friend? Right. And I'm not telling them what they are, but they're seeing it. Like, they're going to think about it now and be like, all right, so what do you want to be?
Mm-hmm.
How do you want to be as a friend? Like, do you want to be a friend that does this, that, and the other? But my daughter's like, yeah, I'm not dating anybody that's not a Christian. They're not a believer. And I'm like, because we've told them a lot. Like, listen, marriages are hard. It's the hardest thing you'll ever do, regardless. If you don't have faith, it's going to be next to impossible. Yeah. Like, if you both don't have your own faith and your own things. And, but that's that. I love that part of parenting. Like, that part of parenting is really, really fun. And I bet as you get old, I bet yours are even more fun. Like, because you're friends now, right? Like, you're just, we ain't friends all the time.
Yeah, we're getting there. Because Quinn will be, hopefully she'll come over. Actually, you should text her. You should have her.
6 o'clock.
Oh, 6.
I
want her to meet
He's already way ahead of you.
He always is. Trust me. I know that does
the
not
hubby's
surprise you.
sitting over there. Yeah, he's way ahead.
I love him. Quinn likes him more than me, so it's all good. But she's almost 24. She'll be 24 in May. And yes, we are friends. And it is the most beautiful thing. Now, are there still moments where I'm like, what?
I'll slap you.
And she knows. She actually said it recently. Dave heard it. She's like, I was always, a healthy fear of dad. She's like, but I was scared of you. And I'm like, good. And listen, there needs to be one. And there were a couple of times.
I think that's important what you just said.
Absolutely. And yeah, you balance each other out. But at the end of the day, there is such thing as healthy fear. I actually had that with both my parents. And there are a couple of times where that shirt, yes, absolutely. And you know what she said to me recently? She's like, actually, same conversation, how she was scared of me, but we were always had a good relationship. She goes, and you know what? You were so tough on me. It made me so mad. She's like, and I'm going to be even tougher. So when we doubt as parents, like, oh my gosh, and am I being mean because the other kids are doing this and you're the mean parent, and then they're not going to have friends if you don't give them this or a phone, and you didn't give your kids a phone. You gave Nicholas that flip phone when he was going to practice, right?
Beautiful, yeah.
I mean, go with your gut because they want the structure.
They do.
They're not going to admit and say, here, please, give me an earlier curfew. They're not going to say that. But to hear this later, I'm like, let me just share this with the world. Yeah, and there's a lot of things I failed at too and still do. So 24, Nicholas just turned 22, my Nicholas. We used to compare Nicholas.
I have a Nicholas.
Yep. And he's 6'4", about 210.
Ooh, mine's 6'3", 225.
Oh. Well, Nicholas is graduating from High Point in a couple of weeks.
How about that?
And just like that, it's done. And that kid, oh, he's got my heart. Anyway, and then Evan, my youngest daughter, just turned 20 yesterday. We're taping this on April 14th. Yesterday she turned 20. And then about 2 hours ago, she called me crying from the side of the road because she got pulled over for speeding. So
how fast was she going?
Only 10 over. On she's at Ole Miss, like back roads. It was like, listen.
I'm going with he knocked it down to 10 over. I don't think she got a ticket for going 10 over. Did you ask that question?
No.
I will bet whatever you want to bet.
Cutting flowers for our show.
I will bet whatever you want to bet. They knock that down. Let me tell you something. I'm not judging. I'm the world's worst driver.
I believe it.
Oh, I love driving fast. It is. You want to know where I failed as a parent the most?
Because your actions behind the wheel did not support
Correct.
What you were saying.
And then my son drives like a bat out of heck. And you're like, fudge sickle, that's me. and then, you know what I told him? Yeah, I told him the other day, I said, buddy, Leah's starting to drive now. She's 15. And he takes her to school every day. I said, I need you to do me a favor. And he said, what? I said, I need you to make up a wrong that I made. He's like, what do you mean? I said, buddy, I did not teach you how to drive correctly. I've done a lot of things right, but you drive way too fast. And I said, for her sake, when she gets in a car so she doesn't die and she drives safely, I said, I need you to slow down. He was like, I got you. And so that was a good way.
That was a great way instead of just don't do it.
Well, I mean, because.
And he's a protective big brother.
That's the coolest thing about my daughter. She was like, is it weird? But I want a boy like Nicholas. And I'm like, that's a great thing. I said, don't say it to other people. My daughters say that too. I said, don't say it to other people out loud because it sounds kind of weird. We got to move to Alabama.
I want to date my brother. Wow. Roll Tide.
But that's a cool part. But I love that. That's cool that your kids are saying that. And
it gets there, but it is definitely the hardest thing. And to understand that each kid, even though they come from the same two parents, the same morals and values and respect and all those things. Oh my gosh, especially boys versus girls. But even if you
mean aliens versus humans?
True. It is true.
Who's
girls are aliens.
Yes.
Girls are aliens.
You admitted that.
100%.
What's wrong with y'all?
I wasn't, but everybody else was. No, you couldn't stop with your eyes. Stop being dramatic. Honestly, my parents have said this to Dave. And my younger brother's in the house, bring him over. I was so annoyed. Okay, just let me finish my sentence before you interrupt me.
I'm not.
I can feel it.
No judgment.
I can feel it. I can feel it so annoyingly
good.
Yeah, goody two shoes. Like the goal of being perfect, so annoying. Like so annoying. So my brothers hated me. No, a little bit of a struggle there, but I tried. I showed up every day.
So you were just stupid?
I was there. I thought I was. I still do sometimes. Thanks a lot. No,
whatever.
I realized my strengths, and it
wasn't school.
I was good. I had a 3.3, whatever, going to college. It was fine.
Well, where did your dad go to school?
Why are you doing this?
Because there's a reason.
Thank goodness I had smart parents. He went to West Point.
West Point. So
yes.
I bet he pointed a couple times and you did what you were supposed to do and straightened up. I mean, anytime.
Oh, there was saluting. There were push-ups. Every time I speak, I tell the story because it always ties into the point, which is the harder right, et cetera. Every Saturday morning, we had a room inspection, just like when he was at West Point. And at 0900 hours, he would knock on the door twice, just like when he was at West Point. And of course, you open the door and you're at attention, and he looks
Wait a minute,
at us.
like saluted?
Oh,
or
yeah.
not?
You
Okay.
gotta pop it up. You gotta do it the right way. We're not in the Navy here.
So what age?
You gotta do it. Oh, since I can remember, probably starting at 6.
Okay.
I was 6, Chad was 4, Courtney wasn't alive yet.
So what did you have to get done? Like, what did you have to?
The room had to be spick and span, perfection. And so when you open the door, you have to salute him, and he says, "Are you prepared for inspection?" And we said, "Yes, sir," because you can't say no, sir. It's yes, sir, even if you were not ready. And then pop it down. He walks through and he marched through, and he would open your drawers. How's that underwear folded? Obviously, the corners of the bed had to look a certain way. If you tried to shove something under the bed or in the closet, infraction. Every infraction was 10 push-ups. And
What's the most you ever had to do?
a lot. Okay, Pollack. But I always say this too.
That's crazy.
My arms have always been, I've always had
Shredded?
good definition because I had to do a lot of push-ups when I was a kid. And
Appreciate that, Dad.
it was the right push-up. You're not on your
Full
knees.
range of motion.
Full, and your head has to be in the, like all of it. Listen, as a girl, it gets easier after a while, unless you're me, and it never gets easier. But for some girls, listen, hey, it hit, Dad. I can't go down any further. For me, it was,
You were good.
sadly, this,
Did you do that with your kiddos when they were younger?
I did. It wasn't quite as effective, but
It wasn't Dad walking in there like this.
No, but whenever and you met my dad, whenever my dad and mom would visit, he would do it. The cool thing was, it wasn't like, it was serious, but it wasn't. It was about teaching your kids to respect what they have. And we didn't have much for Army kids. But respect what you have. And respect the fact that they were working hard to provide those things and that roof over your head. And then it was a competition, because I'm going to beat my brother and he's going to beat me. So who did fewer push-ups? That's who wins. So I wish I had implemented it more, and a lot of that depends on a lot of things in the household.
Correct. Being on
But
board with it. Everybody being on board.
But it was really, and it's still the hardest job ever, David.
Oh
and
my gosh.
even though they're 24, 22, 20, and then, I'm like, wait a minute, I'm not that far away from being a grandma. And I'm like, oh, no, not yet.
What's your grandma name gonna be? I know you thought about it.
It's Dave laughing.
Her husband's absolutely cackling in the background.
I actually haven't thought about that.
No?
Meemaw.
There will be no Meemaw.
No Meemaw?
There will be. I am not from Georgia. There's no Meemaw.
Meemaw's kind of dope, though.
No, it's not. Wait, I mean,
See, I'm closer to grandbabies than I am babies. 'Cause at 15 and 17, like I'm closer to grandbabies.
I know. I'm right there.
So
Wait, why are you laughing about the
I
name?
haven't thought of it. I can't imagine what it's going to be.
What are you going to be called?
Pops or something crazy.
I'm going with Big Daddy.
For you or for him?
I want to be Big Daddy. I mean, you can go Big Daddy too. He's a big sucker.
You want to be, I could see you being Big Dad. So my dad, as a grandpa, to my kids, Colonel and grandmother. Now, it was because grandmother, because my mom.
I know you ain't gonna be no grandmother.
No.
No.
I'm gonna be something cool. Let me think about that and get back to you. It needs to be cool.
I just like to point out that she got stumped.
I did. That doesn't happen often.
I haven't got
Pollack.
stumped. I'm just
Does
saying.
not happen very often. Okay, what, Big Daddy? Are you just coming to this right now? Have you talked to Lindsay about this?
Do I need to clear that with her too?
Yes.
Clear everything else.
Yes. Big Daddy?
I like Big Daddy.
What would she be?
I don't know. She's Lindsay, so I don't know if she wants to incorporate that, like Lolly. I don't know.
And you know what? It
It
depends
ain't
on the
gonna
other
be Big
parent.
Mama. It ain't gonna be that.
Well, it
Big
would
Daddy,
not fit.
Big Mama.
It would. Don't ever. I don't care.
Go
Don't
Big Mama. What
ever-
you gonna do?
You're such a country boy. Okay, serious. This is not about me. I'm thinking about Lindsay, like nursing you back to health. I'm thinking about that time 20 years ago. And then you talk about how all of that prepares you for what's to come. And your baby girl was diagnosed with cancer. In what year?
A year and a half ago. So
2020, late 24,
yeah.
right?
I'm not good at math.
I know this. Let me help you.
Yeah. It was it's interesting because the way it happened, so we had a biopsy, so that we had our first surgery, and they go in, they take it out, and they like literally 8 weeks went by. And they're going to just biopsy, not take it out.
And this is brain.
Is 6 months before, yeah, brain. And so they go in, and then they say, hey, nothing yet. And then the more time that went by, they're like, well, the more time that goes by, they're eliminating things. And so I remember, like, she finally said, like, 8 weeks later, we're going to the doctor, and I was busy doing something, and she's like, don't even worry about it. She's like, don't even come. Like, we're good.
Are you serious?
She was like, we're already past all the stuff. Like, we've already made it past the stuff. And then she calls me. And she wasn't crying because she ain't cried once. She has not shed a tear once or been upset. But she calls me and she was like, hey, I got some news. And I was like, okay. I was like, well, that's what we thought it was, right? And she was like, no, it's cancer. And I was like, excuse me? I was like, I thought they said we were good. And she was like, no, she said it's cancerous. And so then we set the appointment and kind of you start down the road. Like, what's the next steps? But how about this? Like, we're not even a week into the diagnosis. We're driving down the road and she goes, I think God gave me this for a reason. And I was like, what do you mean? She's like, I know this would crush a lot of my friends. And she was like, I can handle this. And I was like, okay. I mean, that's a good start. Like, if you start from that place. But yeah, we didn't think cancer. We thought we were going to be okay. We thought we were going to be good. And the way we found it was cool too, because she had these ear pains and she went to a chiropractor. So usually you find tumors when it's seizures and headaches. And so we found it in like 2020 when she had ear pain, but they just called it a mass. And so she got the checkups every couple months, and then it went out to 6 months, and then it went out to a year. And the last one, on the last one where we did the year, they say, oh, wait a minute, it grew a little bit. And so that's when we got the biopsy and found out about that.
You hear the words brain cancer. I mean, you can have a lot of different cancers, but brain cancer, like when I found out, I mean, I lost my breath. I thought, what did you think?
I didn't know what to think. So, like, I don't jump to worst case scenario, but I was like, crap. And I'm like, what does that mean? Like, what's our next step? And it was almost like, okay, what's the next step? What do you need to find out? Like, because there's so many types of cancer and there's so many people that have had it in different areas. And so I'm like, how do we diagnose this and what do we find out? And, by the grace of God, I became friends with Reese Davis, who knew Jay, who got us to Duke, Jay Billis, who got us to Duke. And then it kind of just, you kind of just go into marching orders, right? Like it's kind of like, let's clean the room, right? Let's do what we can do. Let's control what we can control. We don't know anything yet, so there's no need to flip out. And we just took it kind of step by step in that capacity.
And then was surgery imminent from the beginning?
No, she wanted not to have surgery so bad. I mean, so we talked to the oncologist and we talked to them and they're like, all right, you need to get this out. And the guy from Duke, and he said, I'll never forget, I was on the phone with him. He was like, hey man, if you don't get this out, she's going to die a lot faster than you want her to. And I was like, okay. And that immediately, he was like, you need to get out of Georgia. You need to come here and you need to get this out. And then she was trying to find every way she could not to have the surgery. I mean, she had a craniotomy. Like, she got cut from here to here, like ear to ear. And so she didn't want to do it, but like everything that everybody said was like, listen, you got to get it out. You got to start from ground zero. You got to get the tumor out so we can start way before it grows back or whatever could happen. So no, we didn't want to have surgery. And Baby Doll did everything she could to fight it. Like, she was like, wait a minute, can I just take the pill? And they're like, yeah, after you do this. And I get it. I 100% get why she didn't want to, but
that's scary.
Yeah, it was imminent though.
You posted the most incredible video. I don't know how long after surgery it was, but her head is of course all bandaged. And she's praising God. It's her song.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, I'm going to cry at some point anyways, but this kind of does make, like, how often do you really get to So this is 30 minutes within 30 minutes of her being back in the room. And she said, she was like, so it was a 7-hour surgery. And for context, she didn't open her eyes for another 12 hours or so. She couldn't use her left arm for a solid couple days. But her song is Goodness of God. And that's the whole song and our whole anthem we played. And she told me to play it when she got out of surgery. And so I play it, and the video's on socials. And I don't post personal things. I don't post pictures of my family. I just don't do it. And literally, she's laying in the bed with the bandage, and her left arm goes up somehow, and her right arm goes up. But how often do you get to see inside someone's soul with everything stripped down and removed? Because that's what it was. Like there was nothing going on, but like that's what her soul did, was praise. And I'm like, dude, I have to share that. Like I have to put that on social media. And it wasn't to look at her, it was like, look at the praise. Like this is where her heart is, and like this is why she's gonna be okay. It was, I love that video so much. Like every time I watch it.
Have you read the comments?
I read some of them. I'm not a.
I know you're
I don't
not.
always think about it to read it, but I did read a lot of them underneath it, just because I wanted them to see God.
That's my point.
That's what I wanted them to see.
People saw God. People played that over and over, and it was so like, you're not human if you're not moved by that video. So I hope you did go back, read some of those comments, because that is one of the few beauties of social media. Is when you share things like that, it can change lives. It can bring someone to God potentially.
Yeah. Oh, no doubt.
So I thank you for doing that.
It was awesome. It was cool. I didn't do it. He did it, but thank you.
And her attitude through rehabilitation seems to have been great. Like every time I checked in with you, you're like, oh, she's making progress.
Yeah,
she's rolling.
She did great. We had some scary moments. I mean, we had some moments that I haven't shared, that we haven't talked about, like, and didn't even talk about in the book. But like, you know, you go from, we had surgery, and then we're at Duke in a house in Duke for about 5 days. Which, by the way, they gave her to me like 2 days after surgery, and they gave me all these medications and stuff. And they're like, here you go. I'm like, bro, I'm not trusted. What? Like, and I was going to wake her up every 2 minutes, like to give her pills and stuff. I finally got some help from some of my friends, like put her on a schedule every 6 hours, like to do the medicine and stuff. But we were walking in the house, and she was so drugged because she doesn't drink alcohol. She's got so many things she doesn't do. Like, so she was hammered for weeks. And like, we're walking in the house. I'm like, no. I just picked her up and carried her in. I'm like, we ain't doing that crap. Like, and then she was nauseous for months and threw up everything she ate. You know, one night we took a bath. This was probably 3 or 4 weeks after surgery. And I sat on the floor right now. I didn't give her much freedom. Like there wasn't a lot of freedom. And so she took a bath in the middle of the night because she couldn't sleep. So it was like 12 in the morning, 12 or 1. And then I come over and get her out, and she stands up and she passes out.
Oh my gosh.
In the bathtub. And I catch her. Well, I'm holding her, but I'm squeezing her, and I can hear she can't breathe because I'm squeezing her, but she's passed out, so I can't let her down. I ain't letting her hit her head on the porcelain side after we just had brain surgery. So I kind of turn, and I'm holding her, and I get my phone and I call 911, and the paramedics come, and like that was a night. That was scary. And then she starts working her way back to doing stuff, and then she's in the kitchen in Destin on spring break, you know, a couple months later, and you know, she passes out and hits her head on the cabinet. And thank God it was a cabinet, not like the cornerstone.
Countertop, yeah.
So countertop, yeah, that's what I meant to say. So like we had some hard, we had some difficult, but like it's amazing to watch. You know, the neck was me, the job was me, and it's amazing because your first response is you just want to take it. And that was hard. That was probably the hardest part, because I'm like, I can't fix it. I can't make it go away. I can't even make it better. And so I wrestled with God a little bit, and I remember what happens. Like, you dislocate a hip, you break a back. Like, it's not going to help. But you start finding ways to, you know, I have scripture everywhere. I have quotes everywhere, like in the sticky notes on the mirror. And but man, she's fought like a champ. The kids have had to help. which is awesome. They've had to really, jump in and swing and help. And but I think the coolest part about it, my kids have always looked at me as a superhero. Like, played football, does TV, nothing he can't do. And I think the cool part is now they look at their mom as a superhero, because mom got to handle something that was really hard and never complained, never said boo, like never cried, never said why me. Like, she has not shed one tear. Like, she just keeps moving forward. And I think to give them that example at 17 and 15, 16 and 14, it's been powerful. And she's motivated a lot of people, and her ministry started now, and she's walked 3 people through craniotomies that she's met through random people, and nothing wasted. Like, God doesn't say whoops. He didn't go, man, that one really caught me off guard. Like, right? Like, but I think the letting go and letting God and realizing, like, hey, she's God's before she's mine.
Yeah.
And that was a hard part for me, because you just immediately,
you want to fix it.
yeah, and want to take it. Yeah, and like, she's mine, right? Like, she's mine. Like, nobody gets to do this, and then, wrong. And how do you deal with it?
What's the prognosis?
Well, now it's kind of cool, and I don't say this like to brag, but this is kind of how Baby Doll is. Like, one year we go back, and she goes, the lady goes, "What do you do for good scans, for clean scans?" And she said, like, really quickly, not to brag, but she was like, "We expect clean scans." And so we had a clean scan at 1 year. And I tell you what, it's, the first thing you want to do is share, because you're so excited and you're so happy. But, like, it's also so humbling, because we don't deserve it. Like, it's not something we earned. Like, it's not something that we don't deserve healing. Like, so we're super thankful and super appreciative. And it just, I tell people all the time, I'm like, what do you argue about? Like, is it money? Who cares? Like, the small things, I was like, don't sweat it. Like, it's kind of cool, because, I've definitely learned, like, men's groups are my thing that I love to go speak to and challenge them. And I'm like, what's holding you back from having a great marriage? Like, don't let those things get in the way. And so you just feel unworthy to be where you're at, and it could be different. And with cancer, it's brutal, and it can come back at any point. But I think it helps you really walk in the moments and be so grateful. Like, to be here, we're very happy. We don't know what tomorrow holds, but, like, to be a year removed and to see good progress and clean scans, it's a great thing. Now, the coolest part, the craziest part, is she's a different person. That's what's nuts. Like, I'm married to a different woman. Her hair is curly.
What?
So
let me talk to her.
Her hair is thick. Like, her hair is growing back thick and curly. Like, okay, when we went places, like, Baby Doll doesn't do, like, hey, let's just go chill and hang. Like, it's scripted and scheduled. I'll never forget, she looked at me like a couple weeks after surgery, and she was like, hey, I'm not really planning anything. I'm done with this for now. Like, and I'm like, excuse me? I was like, we've never done this. I was like, are you going to get mad at me? She was like, no. I was like, oh, we've never done this. Like, we went to Key West 2 months ago, and we were there for 3 days, me and her, no plans. And I'm like, whoa.
Wow.
Oh, I'll never forget, less than 2 weeks after surgery, we're in church, less than 2 weeks. And I lean over and I'm like, I'm just making sure the band's not hurting her head, because we do go to those churches that play music and they got drums. It's amazing. And I lean over and I'm like, hey, Baby Doll. I was like, how's your head? And she's like, your breath stinks.
Oh my gosh.
I was just, and I died
Would she
laughing.
not have said that before?
No.
Really?
Oh, gosh, no. Oh, and baby girl who's 15, who I told you is a pain in the butt, she'll be doing something. She'll be like, my skin. And my wife will be like, you want brain cancer?
She
and it's
just
like,
says it.
mic drop.
Oh, she just says it.
Oh, yeah, it's awesome.
Wow.
The biggest beneficiary has been my 15-year-old daughter. I love it, because she's put her in checks. I mean, it's like it's hockey checks against the wall. I'm like, yes, eat that. You like that?
Wow.
But that's been a cool blessing of it. I'm like, I'm married to a different woman. Like, it's totally different. Like, her personality and some of the features listen, there's fatigue that comes with taking,
Sure.
a pill every day that drains your energy and, but there's goodness, and there's fun and there's so much laughter, with her new personality and the way she handles things and stuff. It's just, I think it's the newness. I think God protects children with their attitudes and stuff when they go through hard things. They don't even know it's going on.
Yeah.
And I think God gave us some of those things too, where you're just man, this is so fun. This is so cool. Forget about the other stuff.
Blessings.
Yeah.
Within brutal, a brutal time that your family went through, but look what is coming of it.
Yeah.
You should shower more then. If she's telling you now when you smell, because I want everybody to know, every person that worked with him was like, oh yes, that little brother I never wanted or big brother I never wanted. If only he would shower. If only he would not pass gas when he was sitting next to me in a meeting. That was you. Have you stopped since your wife is shutting you down now?
No. If she shut me down in the other area, I'd stop.
Okay. That's when things would change.
Yeah, that would.
No, those are facts.
Okay, those are facts.
It's the truth.
Okay, so some context. I don't put chemicals on my skin. So I don't use shampoo. I don't use deodorant. I don't use soap. I get in the cold tub every day. So, that's a shower, correct? It's a bath. Okay, I take a bath every day. Fair? Why are you killing my bath?
Why?
I just don't want to
use a washcloth in the cold tub?
No. Let me ask you a question. Do I ever smell like BO?
I fortunately have not been around you that often.
I don't have
always
BO.
on TV, so I'm like, oh, he looks
Correct.
great.
See, I smell great. No, I don't have BO. So
You don't?
No, I do not. My wife would tell you, especially now.
I'm sure she would, especially now. Yes. But where does that come from? No chemicals, no soap, no shampoo, because it's one thing to eat clean. It's another thing to not use shampoo.
I don't know, man. I stopped 12 years ago, probably. And
because?
What's the point of putting all the stuff on your skin or your face? My daughter's 15, by the way, and she gets these zits, and I'm like, just do what I do. She's like, what do you do? I said, I don't do anything. I don't wash my face. I don't put cream on my face. You don't have
zits. You're not a teenager with zits.
And that's what she said. That's what she said.
That's what she said.
But I don't know. I just stopped wanting to put chemicals or anything on my skin. And I haven't since. And it's a running joke for sure. And everybody makes fun of me, but.
Listen, you made a fart joke within 4 minutes of coming up here.
Yeah.
So, you started it. I don't go there, you go there.
Sure, whatever. Somebody went there.
Yeah, and I would be sad if you didn't. Food, eating. Tell me your typical day, because I honestly, I think it's so impressive the discipline that you have.
I eat the same food every day because I don't have to count calories. So I don't have to worry about it because I know what I'm going to eat. I have a scale next to my air fryer. So I can just put my plate on top and then I can do 6 ounces of ground turkey. I know exactly what that is. I know the fat, I know the protein, I know the calories. But yeah, I go grocery shopping. I get shrimp, I get Greek yogurt, cottage cheese, ground turkey, 1 pound of ground beef. And I eat that throughout the week. And so that I boil eggs. I boil dozens of eggs, and my family bogarts. They steal my eggs. It really ticks me off, especially my daughter. But so that's what I eat, and then I'll have fruits and veggies with it, and salad with it, and stuff like that. But it's just.
And why did you start that?
After
football?
Oh God, yes. You saw the pictures. It's funny. My wife got pregnant. And it says, in the book, it says mommy gained, 30 pounds. Mm-hmm. And it says daddy gained. And my wife put -30 because I stopped playing. So once I stopped playing, oh yeah, she was pissed because she was getting fat and I was getting thinner. And she was like, yeah, this is not going to work. But yeah, I started when I was a senior in college, but I'm like, listen, this directly affects the way I feel. And I don't want to be big. And I want to be happy. I want to be lean, and I want to take care of my body. And so, the more I read, the less I eat. Yeah, the more you read about food and chemicals, and
there's so much more information out there now. You're like, I don't want to eat anything.
And I'm on all of it, and that's why I watch all the Huberman and Rhonda, and I know all the stuff.
It's great.
And the more I read, that's why I sauna every day. I sauna every day to start my day for 20 minutes. I get in the sauna.
Cold tub?
Sauna and then cold tub.
Cold tub workout.
20 minutes of sauna, 6 minutes of cold tub.
6, that's long.
Yes, and then right to the gym. and then I work
All the
out
house.
every morning. Yep.
That's amazing. When's the last time you had a cheeseburger?
I'll eat cheeseburger. I'll eat my cheeseburgers.
You're okay. Yours,
I'll eat my
but bread?
No.
No bread.
No bread.
When's the last time you had a dessert?
25 years.
Seriously?
Hmm?
Like
Now,
no
I had a bet.
chocolate?
I had a bet with Maria Taylor about something that I lost, and I had to take a bite out of a donut for a bet on television. I had to do that. That's the
that
only
about
bite.
killed you.
Yeah, it sucked.
How'd
I wanted
it
to go
taste?
to. Oh, it was heavenly. Oh my gosh,
That's
are you
the
kidding
problem.
me?
Yes.
Oh, it was so good. Here's the thing I'll say about that. Like, you never leave a sweet and go, man, I feel so good. Like, I'm so glad I did that. That doesn't happen, does it?
I do it every day.
And
I
you
have
look
a
like
sweet
that?
every day.
Oh,
'cause
you
I have
piss me
no
off.
No, I have no willpower. But it's an addiction. I'm always like, hey, it could be crack. Everybody be nice to me. This is much better than the alternative. But no,
It could be crack. Wow, talk about jumping off a cliff and making sure there's rocks at the bottom.
anything to rationalize.
Oh, yes, it could be crack.
Heroin. I mean, come on, guys. Like, there's so many worse things. But I
Okay, what do you
admire-
mean by eat? What do you mean eat sweet? Like, what does that mean?
I have dessert every night.
Like, what is a dessert? What does that look like?
Sometimes it's a very small cup of ice cream. I was just in Italy with Samantha and Christian Ponder,
Okay.
and we had a lot of really good gelato. But it's Italian, so it's much healthier than here, of course.
Okay, so you'll have like a piece of cheesecake?
Like a quarter or
Okay.
a half of cheesecake.
So it's
but
not
I
all.
have some bit of dark chocolate every day. Every day,
And I'm assuming you're under the camp that, oh, the dark chocolate's good for you,
obviously.
which is bull
And
crap.
red wine, and yes, because it's red wine.
I love the people that's like, I ate dark chocolate. I'm like,
I mean,
I was like, you do realize if you, it has antioxidants.
yes.
And I'm like, so does grapes that are a lot better for you
Wow.
without the sugar and without the other
I know.
properties.
Well, no, nowadays I'm like, I tell him, I go, you have to have milk chocolate because, you like the mocha. And we need to have a little bit of latte. So I listen, it is a problem.
I don't like you people because I look
You
at
people?
Yeah, you people. I look at that and I get fat.
That's not true.
That's 100% fact. If I ate something like that, I would be fat. If I ate like a normal human being, I'd gain 20 pounds in 4 weeks.
Well, you don't have to have it every day.
You have it every day,
You
bud.
could have it, bud.
Yeah, you
You
bud.
could have it once a week because you have discipline and self-control.
No,
and I do.
no. See, that's you think I do, but the reason that I don't do sweets,
It's all or nothing.
the reason
for
I
you.
don't do gambling,
Yes.
the reason I don't do alcohol is because I don't have an off switch. So we're gonna go hard in the paint, and that's exactly why I stopped.
I
Like
love your sports analogy.
because I'm literally gonna be like, I'm not gonna eat a bite of cheesecake. Fat Boy's gonna eat the whole cheesecake. Like.
Because you always have this fat boy mentality from when you were young.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
I mean,
look in the mirror,
honestly,
I see
are
fat
you
guy.
like, do you have body dysmorphia?
100,000,000%. I don't take my shirt off at the beach.
What?
Like, oh no, I keep long sleeve shirt on.
I thought it was to protect yourself from the sun.
Well, it is because I don't want to get sun, but like I don't take my shirt off.
Because why?
I don't like that. I don't like what's underneath there. That's 100. I mean, if I'm being honest, that's what we're supposed to do on this show, right?
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, I could lie, but no, I've always had that. Like I was always fat growing up. My dad, my nickname was Chunk. And he didn't do it maliciously, but I can promise you it taught me not to say a word about like my kids and the way they look. Because my son growing up, everybody called him skinny. I'm like, you're not skinny, you're healthy.
Yes.
You're not skinny, you're healthy.
Yeah, you gotta say
You're not
that.
skinny,
There's
you're healthy.
a difference.
Yeah, but no, I definitely have the fat kid's always in there. And that's why I'm very cautious of what I eat.
Is it
It is.
healthy, your mentality at this point? Like,
Probably not.
If this is Nicholas in a couple of years and he is
God, he's a
not
fatty.
taking his shut up.
Bro, he's a fatty. He ate 5 steaks last night
How
for dinner.
about you say healthy, not fatty?
Well, I wouldn't say it to him. We're in the realm of truth. We're allowed to do that.
Absolutely.
I have socks on.
No, but cute socks with ribbons. But honestly, like you're 43. You honestly, physically look like you could still go play, and you look yourself in the mirror and you don't like what you see.
I try to do a good job of not looking. I think that's my philosophy. Like, I don't like to look in the mirror that much. I mean, I prefer
It's
not
really
to.
interesting.
That's why I don't like do my face and my hair. And listen, if you don't look, you don't really know what you look like that much.
Does it bother Lindsay at all?
What?
Well, because usually it's us who have body dysmorphia and are all jacked up.
No, well, the good thing is we're unhealthily healthy together. Like she refuses to let me get within 100 pounds of her. Like she's like, you're not getting with them. So when I stopped playing, I lost all this weight.
Yeah.
And I got to like 218. And she looked at me, she was like, I didn't marry a skinny guy. I don't like skinny guys. And I was like, geez.
How old or how much was your highest playing weight?
292.
And you're 6'3"?
Yeah. So that was before COVID. That was right before COVID. And then we got a workout group during COVID and we went nuts. Like we've lifted and I haven't stopped lifting since then. But no, I will say that because I'm all or nothing, it does hurt it. But no, I definitely think if I'm being truthful and honest, like I've never like loved looking in the mirror about that stuff. I think, and that's why it's a horrible way to build identity. Like you can build identity 3 ways. You can build it from the outside in, and we already talked about that. Some people not liking people, rich people, you'll always be up and down. You can build it from inside out. Sometimes you love the way you look. Sometimes you love who you are. Sometimes you hate who you are.
Yeah,
sometimes you hate the way you look. So like it's a horrible way. Or you can go top down. Like what does God say about me? Like I'm loved. I'm chosen. I'm made on purpose for only my purpose, not someone else's. And I think that's when it's really powerful is like God made you, when you complain about your hair, God made that hair. Are you telling God he made a mistake? Like when you talk about your eye color, your skin color, like you can't tell God he made a mistake. So I try to remind myself that's my biggest stuff. Like I'm made exactly like I am on purpose for a purpose that only I can perform and only I can do. So like I'm not miserable by any stretch. I just avoid taking my shirt off. And I mean, I've just never liked it. Like I was the fat kid in the pool at 15 that swam with a shirt on. So
no, it makes sense. And then I hope that you can get to the point, honestly, and we all have a long list of things to work on, some lists longer than others, but like there are, and I'm sure you hear it all the time, there's a million men who would pay $1 million to look like you at this age or at any age. But I think quite often we don't hear that. Mm-mm. We only hear this part. But I know for the sake of your kids, like you don't want them.
No.
Like.
But they know I'm a psycho, so that's good.
That's true. Listen, one of the things I love, first of all, he's inspiring me to do this too, because I've been trying for 4 or 5 years and keep running away from it.
She's gonna do it though.
Yes, she is. She has to. And if only for like
her,
my kids, my parents. I want to do it while my parents are here, and this is beautiful. Like no matter what happens, your kids are learning something about their dad.
If they read
this. Unlike your wife, you gave Lindsay one job.
One job, baby. I'll read it. Yeah, I know mine haven't read it yet, but maybe they will one day.
Well, wait, but real quick. So he asked Lindsay to read it, to like proofread it, just, make sure.
Because I got tired of hearing about me. Like that's the most nauseating thing about writing a book is like you write your story and again, I'm not trying to write about my good stuff, but it's still my story. And you write it down and then you go over it and you fix it and you go over it and you fix it. All you do is read about you.
Yeah,
it's nauseating. So I'm like, hey, baby doll, will you please read about this? Like, will you please read this and make sure it's factually accurate? And she's like, yeah, sure. And then kind of didn't. And we got the book like 3 weeks ago. And if you open to the next page right there, it says for Lindsay. And she started crying. This was like 2 months ago. I'm like, this is proof you never read the book, baby.
You never read it.
You never read the book. And that now she's very proud. I'll give her credit. She broke the book out in the airport the other day. We were sitting with all the delays and stuff. And this lady was talking back and forth, and she was like, what are y'all going to do? And she was like, we're going for a book thing. She was, oh, you wrote a book? And she's like, yeah. She's like, here it is. It's this. And she's like, it's really good. And I'm like, wow, honey, I've never heard you talk positively about something like that. That's really good.
Sweet.
Yeah.
That's so sweet. She's proud of you. I will say, as we wrap this up, because I could talk to you all day, but I think that's your fancy driver out there. Wait, I think I saw him.
Fancy like Applebee's on
much.
a date night?
Pretty much, yes. You finally just said what you wanted on social media. But listen, about men and women's sports and things like that, where listen, everybody at ESPN and many other places, they have opinions, but they keep them to themselves. I think that's one of the blessings of cancellation, firing, call it what we want, is that you're like, okay, I'm not gonna hold back. I'm gonna be honest. And you can do it with kindness.
Yes.
I feel like you have really done a good job. You've always been kind, but to talk about some tough topics factually with kindness.
Yeah. I love the way you put that because I think we can all disagree.
Sure.
I think some sides more than other might attack And listen, you get that with your faith. I get attacked all the time with faith stuff and, stop doing this, stop doing that. But, man, the truth is the truth. And like the girls and guys sports or guys and girls sports, I'll never understand.
No.
I'll never get it. I got a daughter. Like me and my coach at my school that I coach high school basketball with, like we have said, if we ever run into that, we're not playing.
Yeah.
Like we'll walk off the floor. It's a very easy decision for us. Like I'm not putting my daughter in that situation.
Why do you think so few men, fathers, have done just that?
I don't know. I haven't been able to wrap my brain around that. Like I can't fathom that. Like I think it's a default for some is like just this is the line that I am on and this is the side that I am on. Like I'm just not gonna listen to that. But like there's just no justifying that. Like I can't wrap my brain around it. Like, and listen, what I think we did a poor job of too is I think when you allowed women into men's sports and the kicker that we publicized at Vanderbilt, like you opened a side now for one side. Now you kind of open the other side. Well, you did it over here. Well, why can't we do it over here? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, the difference is that she wasn't pretending to be a boy.
Correct. She wasn't. But it's very simple. There's no, you look at puberty, you look at testosterone, like it's a knife to a gunfight. It's not a fair fight in a million years. Like I know you've done a lot with that and Riley's done a lot with that and it's just awesome. But I don't understand the men. I don't understand why it's faux pas not to step up and say that. It is very clear. There is no place. Like no place. And I will walk away. If we're presented with the opportunity, we're going to leave. We're not going to compete. We're not going to give someone the satisfaction of doing that. And I'm going to protect my daughter and my girls that I coach.
Yeah, I've been blown away by a lot of our friends who they'll reach out quietly, separately, and I'm like, guys, if you just said it with kindness and speaking facts, like we wouldn't be in the situation. There wouldn't be girls getting hurt or getting their spots taken or having to share a locker room with a boy. And I mean, I'm like, all you football players who've got $100 million in your pocket, like everyone knows this and they're choosing silence. And I think that is our responsibility when you have a platform is to speak the truth. Sometimes it's just your truth about your thoughts, your experiences with your faith, your family, whatever. This is indisputable. And I think we owe it to our kids, but mainly, maybe it's just as much to our young men. So you are teaching Nicholas, and I'm teaching my Nicholas, about standing up for others and the truth. And if we say it but don't practice it, it's the same thing. We're selling out and not being an example to our kids. So
Why do you think it's so hard? Because of paychecks attached to it?
Yeah.
I think that's what it is.
I think it is too, even though, again, it's all relative. And I'm like, wait, but you played in the NFL for a dozen years and now you're in TV. And I know about what you're making. You can look online what the contracts were. You have not as much literally to risk. But it's also the fear of being disliked, the fear of someone saying, look at you, you're anti this, and then you just go like this. I think I'm just shocked that it's that the vast majority of people, men and women, but if we're talking about men, have chosen to stay silent for something that they know is innately, like, it's just wrong. And because there's people getting hurt.
I worked with people on that game day's desk, and I was blown away by the sensitivities, like just of how much the criticism matters.
Yes.
Like, and how much that we read it. And I'm like, you're literally letting someone's in your parents' basement define your day?
Correct.
Like
Twitter fights. And I'm like, you are so much better than that person.
Yeah.
What are we doing and why? But I think that's on me and you and others to, just because someone has the wealth, has the fame, has the platform, doesn't mean that they have it inside to do the right thing. And I just want to encourage people to do it. And again, you don't have to.
That's actually the wrong way to do it.
It is.
The wrong way to do it is like, like you're going to hell. You need to do like blah, blah. I'm like, whoa, like we don't. It's no different than me than sharing my faith. Like I'm going to share my faith, and I believe in one truth, and I believe in one whole truth, and so to me there aren't other truths that you can believe that you can wrap around it. But I also understand that we are all human on a journey trying to figure out what the heck's going on. And it's going to come at different times.
Absolutely.
But I can tell you one thing, the more you try to beat people upside the head and the more you do it with disrespect, the less likely you are to turn somebody onto it.
Human nature.
It's-
They're
you're-
not going to turn.
They're going to go the other direction. Yeah, you're going to
Exactly.
forge them against you. But
Exactly.
I think people get more comfortable with it as they get older a lot of times. But I definitely, it's strange. It's strange in that particular realm how we can even justify or find a right side to that. Like that. I mean, when Dawn Staley said what she said, I was like,
and the thing is, she doesn't believe it. These people don't believe it.
People in the sport, when Megan Rapinoe, what's her name? Megan
Rapinoe.
I don't want to say her name because it doesn't help.
Don't give her any.
But like that when you're.
Are we allowed to call her her? Is she a she? Is she a they? But she's not. She's attacked me. She attacked me.
Sure.
Just in saying that we are a threat and a danger to the trans community. And I'm like, amazing how you waited till your
done.
multi-million-dollar career was over to all of a sudden say you're fine with.
You wouldn't have a career.
You would be nobody.
You would have no career because every year the 14-year-old teams beat the girls.
It's true. Beat her
team. The 14-year-old boys beat them. And I'm not being disrespectful. That is true. Like they go against the 14-year-olds because once you start to get to 15 to 16, like the boys win. The 15 and 16 youth league teams beat the women's gold medal teams.
Exactly. This happened. Her team. One of her
yes,
teams
there's a reason.
So it's real. And so I just want people to keep speaking the truth. And it doesn't mean you're anti. It means that you are actually you're for women.
I'm for my daughter.
And you're for the truth. And you must be. What's your podcast? Where else can people find David Pollack right now?
See Ball, Get Ball is my football podcast. Doesn't that make total sense,
It's
by the
so
way?
you.
Dumb defensive lineman, ball move. Like ball move, you move. Like you don't have to think, no plays. Like offense, you got to know where you're going and stuff. Defense is like go get it. And I think what people would like about that is no gambling, no cursing, no alcohol. Like we're gonna do it our way. Like we're definitely gonna do it our way. Like, I love it. My 17-year-old son listens to every
That's
show,
awesome.
and he'll text me all the time. And I just love that I know he's listening, and we're not doing things that are. By the way, that was you talk about a come to Jesus moment. We got offered a lot of money for our title sponsor to be gambling.
Really?
And you know how crazy, you know how fast.
You're a sports podcast, and that's
Do you know how fast my brain tried to justify? Like, and I'm like, well, you're a sellout. That's what you are. I quickly tried to justify. What if we did this? What if we did that? I got 5 of my buddies, and we went and sat down, and I was like, Christian brothers that I love dearly. And I was like, hey, what do you think about gambling? What do you think about this? I don't do it, like, because I know that not a lot of good comes out of it. And then honestly, it was kind of cool because you go back and forth and people have different beliefs. And what I settled on was like, all right, in order for me to win, someone else has to lose.
Mm-hmm.
So that's not the faith that I support. It's not you suffering, me winning. That's not what I support. And so, but it was hard to say no. But yeah, it's just talk ball, like have a bunch of my buddies on, like Reese and all those guys to come talk football. And family goals with my pastor, who Sage Steele's been a guest. It was fantastic.
It was so fun.
Shared her
After I
faith.
left ESPN, I cried, of course.
It was awesome. Like it was awesome because I could tell you were coming into your own. Like
this is what we need to talk about offline again because you got to get out of here. But I years ago, I don't remember the full way you were doing it, but it was on Twitter, and you were having people share their faith stories. I think.
Yeah. Do a devotional with my everyday counts challenge.
That's what it was. And I was not ready. And didn't know if I'd ever be ready. And it's amazing when, like, you think you believe. I mean, I believe, but it's like, am I really living it? And do I understand it? And am I spending that true time? And I remember being embarrassed that I wasn't able to do it at that time or wasn't ready. And
I asked her to do like a daily devotional for the challenge.
I started to.
You could kill it now, though.
I could.
That's growth. See?
It is, and it took going down to the bottom, and not bottom. It's not brain cancer. It's not. And you have to have that perspective, and then you go, oh wait, it doesn't matter if it sounds silly to somebody else, but it is. And I wouldn't have met Dave. I mean, my whole life would be completely different if not for the darkness that led to the light. It's so cheesy, but it's
true.
Really, really true. And now I have so much work to do, of course, and then we all do, but like to continue to talk about my faith. I've done it so much more, but Catholics are different. It's really more quiet and private. And I'm like, okay, I can still, practice that and be more vocal elsewhere. I believe now that's one of the reasons why I have maintained a platform, or actually started from nothing and built it back up. But I remember feeling embarrassed, and because you were always so open about your faith and confident with it, is what it seemed like. And so thank you, because that really planted the seed that I had to go deeper. And then of course I didn't until I had to. But
that's all of us.
Awesome. It's been, yeah.
That's all of us. That's every single one of
really
us.
Awesome. And you share a lot of that in this. And listen, I have a lot of people on who've written books, whatever. I usually forget it and don't bring it because, okay, I love the book, but I'm excited to talk to the human being. You guys need to buy this. Or can they do the audio book? Can they?
Yeah, you can do all that stuff.
Is it your voice?
No, it's
your
not.
drawl?
I was gonna do it, and my schedule got crazy with all the stuff that I was doing with it. And so
it needs to be your voice.
Oh my
because
gosh!
When I was reading it, no, you already said it. When I'm reading it, I'm like, oh, I can totally hear him saying that.
Yes.
Like your voice comes through in the writing. I love that.
That's good.
It is Georgia in here.
I promise you, whoever you are out there, you can read this book because a defensive lineman wrote it. Like I promise you, like. It will be done in a couple days.
It's quick. It's a quick read.
It's very quick. It's very easy. Like,
listen, I don't do books.
Yeah.
I listen because I can't sit still. And processing, I was all in on this.
That's crazy.
And thank you. But most of all, for all those years of just kindness and teaching me more about football. And I thought I knew a lot, but you broke it down as it should be done. You were such a joy for all those years, and it was awesome to get to work with you, and for supporting me those times when I was like, thank you.
Absolutely. That's what friends do.
Congrats. Thank God that your wife is doing how she's doing, and that's a testament to you as well and those babies. So
very thankful. Thanks for having me on.
Awesome.
Thanks for giving me these rad socks. Look at these socks.
Please take them with you.